Right, hello and welcome along. This is for 4020 Live. It's Mark Wilson, Gary Schofield, Leon Pryce is with us, and the one and only Richard Shaw. He's just pressing some buttons out the back. Please share and like with your friends. We've got to say well done, the York City Knights, winners of League One. Bradford, Oldham and Doncaster Warrington wait to do battle in the playoffs. And in the Championship at the bottom, it's all to play for. After Rochdale got a win yesterday, they go to Sheffield, Swinton at Batley to find out who will avoid that relegation matchup. The qualifiers, wow, what about them? A big win for 3 Championship clubs in Toronto, Toulouse, and of course the London Broncos who upset Salford. Well done to them. It's going to be one hell of a finish to the qualifiers. To such an extent, Hull Care have cancelled their end of season due. And I'm going to ask the question, if there's an £500,000 parachute payment for the club going down, what incentive have Widnes got to beat Hull KR this weekend? Absolutely nothing at all. Who will go up? We know that Widnes are going down, so at least one Championship club will be in Super League next year. And in the Super League, it's Saints against Warrington. It's Wigan Castleford in the playoffs. Good evening, one and all. Please share on Facebook. If you want to get in touch, you can do so on the Facebook page or via our Twitter page at 4020 Live. Good evening to our guest, as ever, Gary Schofield. Are you well, Ledge?
Yeah, very well, mate. Yeah, very well. I enjoyed the weekend, to be honest with you. I'm not really saying that with the Super League games have been again that much quality, but certainly from the qualifiers, you know, that's what everybody's been talking about, haven't they, for the last. Certainly the last 2 weeks, and oh boy, wasn't there some score lines this weekend, and it certainly put the cats among the pigeons for this Thursday, this Friday, Saturday, but also as well, and then OKR play on Sunday night. But surely the games should have all played at the same time, won't they? You know, as you mentioned there with Widnes, what incentive they got? Well, don't forget about the £500,000 parachute payment. They're rubbish anyway, so they've no incentive to play well against Wilkington Rovers on Sunday night from there. But the fact is, OKR will definitely know what they have to do when they see the games Thursday, Friday, Saturday with the opposition what's down there. But I'll tell you what, the qualifiers have been spot on. Toulouse, I'll tell you what. Is that the result of the season? Is that the result
from
of this?
19-0 down?
From 19-0 down. You look at the quality of Hull KR, what they had out there at the weekend. You look at the experience, what they had there at the weekend. I'll tell you what, take your hat off to Toulouse. Surely the performance of the season.
Yeah, Leon, well done. You're in the playoffs, mate. We've spoken a few times over the last 6 weeks. You've had a tough old run in. That win over Bradford, I think, just set you up nicely, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, yeah. Yeah, like you say, we've had a tough run in with that. We've had Doncaster, we've had Bradford, we've had York. I think the Scholars were a really tough game as well. So it's been good. So we battle hardened. We had a tough game this Sunday against Doncaster away, which we lost. But I think we'll go into the playoffs with lots and lots of confidence. Every team that we've played around us, Oldham, Bradford, Doncaster, we've beaten them this season already. So it's not like we've anything to be afraid of.
You go to Doncaster in the playoffs this weekend, a tough place to go. The big worry is, what happens if you get to the final, you have to go to that extra game? Have you got enough players?
Well, I think we've got 4 people already booked holidays. I booked an holiday myself at the start of the year. Obviously, if we're in that game, they'll have to miss it. I think it's farcical, to be honest with you. I think to put an extra game in right at the end of the season, the week after the grand final, when all the players and all the staff, most of the staff have all booked their holidays around time, it just causes so much confusion. It's going to cause me so much disruption. I think I'll have a staff member and 4 players missing. And it's not like in Super League where it's your full-time job and you do rugby every day. You get paid a half decent salary, and then if something comes up, your rugby comes first. These guys work 9 to 5 jobs and then go and train after. So when their holidays come, their priority really. I know it shouldn't be that way, but for some of them, is to get away, and that's the problem that I'll have. If it does come to that.
Yeah, well, it's an extra chance, because hopefully if you win the final from your point of view, you won't need that. You'll be on holiday.
No, I love the extra chances. It's brilliant, because if you get to the final, it's not all or nothing game. But it's just when the game's scheduled to take place is the biggest problem.
Gary, you go to Workington a lot, we know that. We'll all be honest, when Leon got the job, we're all a bit, oh, this is going to be interesting, how's it going to work out? He's done a hell of a job, hasn't he?
He's done a great job, and I say we spoke about it before, Mark, can't we? We're certainly, and I say that what I can, you know, what Leon has went through and understood, you know, the players, what he's coaching, because the quality player what Leon was, and I say international quality player, whether he's at Bradford, St Helens, Catalans, at Hull, from there. So it's a matter of him understanding what level he's at. So he's got to understand, well, he may have to think a little bit down the ladder. Hopefully the players will come up that there up to a certain level what he wants, and getting that consistency week in and week out. And I say when I was coaching, as everybody knows, with Huddersfield and at Barrow, you know, it's very, very frustrating. And I'm sure at times Leon has got frustrated, because at times some of the players are thinking, well, bloody hellfire, they can't even do the basics. They can't even catch, pass, tackle and support. So Leon had gone through that, but one thing for sure, the players are bought into his philosophies. They're bought into his philosophies pretty quickly. So then, from that point of view, from there, I say we played him a couple of times this year. They're a good side, and what he's got from his players week in and week out, he's got that respect and he's got the consistency. And I would imagine now he's understood the frustration. So then that will kick into his man management of understanding the players, and that's how he's got the best out of them.
What have you made of it then? I've spoken to people here, I've heard what you've got to say. I mean, I know you found it hard. Gary said the same, when he stopped playing, it's bloody hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I found it really hard not playing, but being back around that environment, I think having the time off and realising how much rugby means to me personally, because it's been my life since I was 8, full time since I was 15, and then to have 4 months just at home on your own when you've been around 30 blokes for the best part of 20 years, it really hits home how much the game does mean to me. I think I needed that. I think I needed that to appreciate how much I love the game and how much I want to be involved in it. Playing coaching side, I'm a little bit different. I don't expect everybody to be. I don't expect players who train 3 times a week to be as good as some of the players I've played with, you know, your Sean Longs, your Kieran Cunninghams. We're our job for every single day working on the absolute minute details. The hardest thing for me in Cumbria is the fact that we've got Sellafields and they all work there, which means they work shifts, which means sometimes I've got 8 training, sometimes I've got 10, sometimes I've got 18, sometimes I've got 6. And there's no consistency to coaching, and that's the hardest part, is trying to get them to put rugby first before anything else. That's the hardest thing I've got on my hands.
If people want to get in touch, they can do so, of course, via the Facebook page. Plenty of you doing that. We'll go through some of those with Richard. If you've got any questions for Leon, we'll ask him. I'm sure he'll be honest enough to answer them, and we'll get stuck into that as well. We'll talk more about League One and the playoffs in due course. Rich, plenty going on. A lot of people getting in touch already.
Yeah, I'm surprised this guy's not offered himself to Leon to play in that potential thing, unless he's on. I'm
not on this. Right? I'll do your shift, mate, for 20 minutes. I'll organise it. I'll get him on the field. I won't be going for the deception. I can reassure you, because I can't. I'm too slow. But I'll organise it. These are kicking games. I'm available.
It's on the poacher. Like when you poach tries.
Well, I might get the interception, but won't be the shot. But looking to pass it straight away. I won't be looking to go 80 yards unless there's a taxi on the sideline. I can jump in.
Well, a lot of people are perturbed at the lack of Phil Kaplan.
Oh, well, he's not here.
No, he's not here.
He's not been sacked. I can assure you that. We've not got rid of him just yet. He's got the Leeds Player of the Year do. I mean, which
Leeds end of season
good luck picking one for that, I think. But we'll talk more about Leeds.
Lads, hang
on. Before
you were saying again. You two, Pinky and Perky, you're at it again, aren't you? You're Leeds a bit of stick. Oh, listen, it's a celebration. The celebration.
You know what's offended me more than anything this year? Leon came in and said I'm a Leeds fan.
No, I thought because we went to Leeds United games. And
that's work, mate. That's work.
I didn't realise. I thought because United did it for fun.
You don't think I do this by choice, do you? Coming sitting with him every week. Oh well, hey, just because you scrape past Halifax, don't come on here on a Monday getting lippy anyway. What else is happening, Rich?
Well, I think we're wobbling the camera. Elsewhere, John says well done, Workington, well done everyone. Dawn wants to ask about Catalans, who are potentially going to play Wigan at the Camp Nou next June, having paraded the Challenge Cup there yesterday, which is still surreal. If you haven't seen it, it's on Twitter, it's on Facebook, it's everywhere. They're going to take a fixture to the home of Barcelona.
They've done it before. They got 20,000, 18,000 or 20,000 in Barcelona. You've played in Catalans, you know it. So what will it be like there now?
I played in that game. What about?
Did you?
Yeah.
Right. So what what you know what it means to those people.
What, to win the Challenge Cup?
To win the cup,
yeah.
And now what do they do? I mean, like Rich said, I was at work last night watching the pictures, 100,000 people there, and they're on the pitch with a trophy, and they're living it up.
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing about our game is promotion, and when you win a trophy like that for the first time in your club's history, bringing a trophy up from English soil to French soil for the first time is massive. It's a massive, massive occasion. I know Bernard Gosh will be promoting the game properly the way it should be, and you know, try and get on the back of that. I mean, if Catalans can now get, you know, 15, 16, 17,000 for home games and really spread rugby league around the south of France even more so than what they do already, then it's only good for the game.
It is. I mean, this could be pretty good. I mean, I was hoping that they got, you know, Messi holding the Challenge Cup, something like that would have been unbelievable, wouldn't it?
Oh, without a doubt, and that's what the game wants. And you know, it's I spoke about it last week, didn't I? You know, about the way that rugby league is. We all know. You know, the game itself is the greatest game of all, but what it lacks promotion, it lacks marketing, it lacks direction, and I don't know if you agree with me or not, but when I saw the two chief executives on Sky on Thursday night, it was laughable and it was sickly. Because you know why? You know why? They are trying to kid everybody that everything is sensational in rugby league. They're going on about participation, they're going on about promotion, they're going on about promoting the game, they're going on about marketing, they're going on about the quality. Are they literally so blinkered that everybody who's watching rugby league knows exactly that the game's in a mess? There is no promoting, there is no marketing, there is not a lot of quality about, you know, and when we're talking about participation levels are dropping massively, and then also as well we talk about a pathway where people can get into League One, playing in Championship, going into Super League and then on to England. Where is it all? It was absolutely laughable and sickly when you saw them two talking about the game.
We started advertising the England game on the back of buses. You can't see this because it's on my phone, but I took it earlier. I think it's Sam Burgess in the middle, which is a good job. Everything's gone okay in Australia over the past weekend. But yeah, they're starting advertising the England games, not the grand final.
What's it like from a player's point? Scully obviously played it a while ago now. You're a modern day player. You know, you must look at the footballers and think, I want to be, you know, we should be earning money like that. What, as a player, we talk a lot about players having more say in what happens.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Well, not a player anymore.
Well,
yeah. Well, I just think I do agree with Scully. I think we have got the product. I think the product's probably got a little bit worse over the last 6-7 years because of the salaries. People go to NRL, people go to Union. That's one of the problems why our game's kind of not at the level it was, say, 10 years ago.
Correct, absolutely.
That's been a problem. Our biggest problem is we have got a very, very, very good product. Rugby league is one of the most watched sports. It was one of the most watched sports after football on Sky Television. So the product is right. It's just the marketing. You know, the superstars. You know, the stars we want to promote as best players. Sam Burgess, Sam Tompkins. We need those players to be as high profile as possible. I mean, the last real high profile player I reckon we had who could go to London and mix in with the best is, say, your Martin Fires. And since then, really, we had Sam Tompkins, who's you know, he has been a superstar, but we need those recognisable faces on TV on Friday, on Saturdays, not just on rugby programmes, on football programmes. We need to promote the game itself.
Right, Leon, I want to put this to you then. I'll go back to my day, right? Yep. And this is what I'm going to say to you, right? Go back to my day, and I'll say this. Where are we going to find, right? And I'll bring the Super League players in 10 years ago, what you're saying. So where are we going to find the next Joe Lydon, the Martin of Fire, Jason Robinson, Schofield, Gregory, Crooks, Kevin Ward, a Dennis Specs, a Mike Gregory, and an Henry Henley? Where are the next? We're talking about a pathway. So then now I'll go back now. Super League, as I mentioned 10 years ago. Yeah. Where is the next? Sean Long, Leon Pryce, Andy Fowle, Paul Sculthorpe, Kieran Cunningham, James Laws, Lee Breers. Where are they? They're not going to be coming through, Leon, are they? Because we're not giving these kids an opportunity and this pathway through.
Yeah, I do agree with you a little bit, but there are players still coming through. But I think for me it's about the promotion of those players, and for as much as we all love rugby league because it's such a working class sport and there's no, you know, if you get a little bit above your limit, then you get knocked down back to earth quickly. But we need superstars. We need to promote our best players. I mean, for me, Sam Tompkins is the last real superstar player that we have, and the other players that we've got at the moment, you know, you say, let's say, your Kyle Eastmans, or let's say Owen Farrell. Owen Farrell, 20, 30 years ago, would have been playing rugby league. Andy Farrell wouldn't be coaching Saracens, he'd be coaching Wigan. You know, we don't forget Sean Wayne going to Scotland Rugby Union.
It's laughable.
You know what I mean? Our game is consistently losing our biggest players.
Experience who could bring something to the game again. I'll go back to my era, right? I'll just go back to my era now, right? And I'll give you my best Great Britain side, right? And this is what the point I'm making here for losing experience. Joe Lydon, Martin Afire, Jason Robinson, Paul Newlove, Gary Connolly, myself, Andy Gregory, Lee Crooks, Martin Dermott and Kevin Ward, and then Dennis Specs, Mike Greggy, and bless your soul, Michael. Them 13 players, not one of us are involved in rugby league.
Yeah.
That's a disgrace. Look how much experience you have. Look, and plus as well then, you can add Sean Edwards on there where he's got, and then you look at the players now who are at rugby IE with Andy Farrell, Mike Ford, Graham Stedman's gone there, Bradley, whatever. Why are we losing this sort of experience?
Because if you look at football, when you stop, if you're a top line football player, when you stop playing, you can go into punditry. You've got jobs you can stay within the game, assistant coaches. There's only a small amount of jobs that involve in rugby league. If you come out of top line rugby, how do you get back in? Well, how do you get back in? How do you get a job? How do you keep those players within the game? How do you keep them in?
Well, I'll tell you one thing what you can do.
You can't get on Sky.
No. I'm not about punditry. One thing what you can do. Send them out there as development officers all around the country. We're talking about promoting the game. We're talking about going in schools. We're talking about pathways through. All ex-international players with an ego, with a big name, sellable, absolutely sellable, and marketing there. Get them all out in the country. 12 development officers around the place. That's how you can keep them in the game.
I agree, and one thing I'll say, I'm not saying this because you're here, but the one good thing about you is to make sure, and the good thing about being a little bit controversial is at least you've been there, done it, and people, whether they like it or not, like to hear the voice of somebody who's done it, and that's for me, somebody who's played top line, somebody who's been top line and been there, done it. I'd rather listen to your opinion than somebody who's not. And I'm not having a go. Anybody who's not. But
we're off.
But what I'm trying to say is keep people within the media, keep them within the game, keep them on the, within the punditry, keep them within the development, because you've been there, done it. So it's good to listen to, and even though some people won't like it, and I think it amuses me. I like it.
You laugh at him, is that
no, I like it because how can you argue? He's been there, done it. He's played for best Great Britain teams ever, being Aussies on the Aussie soil, and he likes to give people it as well. And I've probably been in there on that list at some point as well.
Very good.
Even though I don't listen.
He's been told stop banging the desk. You see, we've moved house and you're still banging the desk. So I've been told to gaffer tape your hands behind.
But Mark, you know yourself because I love this game, and I want.
One thing I will say to you. When Ellery Hanley played, Ellery Hanley was my favourite player ever. Like, so he played, 25 years ago? 25
20 years ago we've been retired. Yeah.
Ellery Hanley was getting paid more then than most players get paid now. So how has the salary increase matched increase on petrol, increase on mortgages, increase on lifestyle, living, inflation of just normal general wages now for Super League players are less than they were 25 years ago.
Would you get rid of the cap? Would you get rid of the cap?
I'm not saying get rid of the cap, but you've got to. We have got to fight. The reason why we lose all our best players is because of the wage structure. It's a massive part. If let's say this. Let's answer this question. If Super League wages were the same as football Premier League wages, would we have more Rugby League players?
Yeah, of course you would.
Well, so that's one of the problems, isn't it?
Yeah, I get that. He's right. He's right.
But also as well, though, you look at allegedly what Tyrone Roberts has been paid at Warrington as a marquee player.
It's a one-off home score.
Well, I think Sam Tonga.
Yeah, that's 1 out of 25 players.
Well, also as well, the RFL are paying the so-called ambassador game an extra 25-30 grand a year. We never got that in our game. And I can reassure you, there weren't better players than us. So my debate about the salary cap is, if you want to, why do you want to improve it and give all the players more money when they don't deserve it?
I know they don't. That's not the point. My point is this. If we want to keep our players and try and improve the level and the standard and get the best players from Australia, maybe get the best players from Union, and our best players to remain, the salary is definitely a part of it, 100%. Not for one player.
I wonder how many kids leave school that are pretty good rugby league players and think, do I want to go in the gym and have to watch what I eat and work out in the gym and get knocked the hell out of every weekend for 15 grand? Or do I go to uni, get a degree and try and get a job on 40 grand a year while I just sit on my backside all week?
Or do I want to come through and play for England Rugby League? And I know England and Great Britain is an honour, and it is, but you play for England Rugby Union, you get £26,000 a test match.
Well, I think they're getting 10 grand a game now, test match, that's not bad. For
what in England?
In England?
England are getting 10 grand a test match. No chance.
What are they getting then?
They're not getting 10 grand a test match, I promise you that. I promise you. I'm just trying to give you. I'm not arguing. I'm just trying to say. I'm giving you some points of what we're up against and some of the reason why. Let's talk about when I first came through. You had Joe Vangenaar, you had Renoff, you had Trent Barrett, people like that. You had Matt Gidleys, you Robbie Pauls, Leslie Vanicolas, Joe Vangenaars. They could come over here and they could whatever they earned, they sent back home. It was 3-1 because of the way of the pound and the dollar. We can't do that anymore. We can't entice their best players. For me to get through into Bradford Ball's first team, I had to get past Shontae Nappy, Leslie Vinicola, Tavita Vicona, Michael Withers, and Henry Paul, or Paul Deacon, or Robbie Paul. Who are these players now? Who have they got to get past to get in the first team?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't really want overseas players coming over taking the quality of our players. Because how many journeymen have we got over here now? How many journeymen have we got playing the game?
Right, all right, we're moving on. I've heard your rant.
Michael Withers played for Great Britain, Scott.
Yeah, he did.
Right, go on. What's happening?
Dave Parkinson. I think he knows the answer to this question. Is the money in the sport?
No, simple as that. No, it's not.
So
and also as well, Leon's on about with the money from there. When the new Sky deal comes in 2021, it's going to be even worse. Well, so there we go. Well, as I say, this is not all about restructuring. It's all about the powers that be want to be in charge of the money. And one thing for sure, well, Leon Pryce being at Workington, I'm at Keefe now. It's going to be even more bloody well harder because quite simply, we ain't going to get no money.
We could be non-existent.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Luke has asked, and of course, the great news is, of course, the summer bash continues next year. We don't know where it's going to be. Fingers crossed it'll be in Blackpool because it's cheap.
Do we know where the Magic Weekend is yet?
Well, apparently in the Super Solway Sunday it said Newcastle.
Oh, great.
But in June.
June.
Go on.
Luke says, is Leon still enjoying Blackpool over Blackpool?
100%.
It could be there.
I love Blackpool. I mean, Scully, you've been to Australia, you've been out. When you go down as a Great Britain tourist, the amount of stick you get in the media is unbelievable, and I've never experienced it before. And when I got there, I was like, "There's pommy this, pommy that. They shouldn't even be on the same field as them. They're amateurish, they're rubbish. Who's the criminals and this and that." And I was just like, well, I'd rather be at home in Bradford.
I must admit though, I've been to far more better beaches than Bondi Beach. It's overrated, honestly. Bondi Beach is overrated. Manly's the best beach in Sydney.
Nice,
There's some lovely beaches out in Cronulla from there, so yeah, I'll agree with Leon. Blackpool's better than Bondi Beach.
I should talk about Billy Slater later as well. Well, the big story.
Yeah, I didn't mention that.
And we should mention as well a great result yesterday for official team of this programme, Coventry.
Yes.
Beating Hunslet.
Yeah.
So big win.
Another big win for the Bears this season. So that's two.
Well, they played well the week before against Whitehaven. They had them on the rack for a while, so they want as much surprise as some people would.
What do you make? They all, out of town, if you like, Coventry. We've a lot of time. We've got a lot of young kids there, and they've clearly improved. They've picked up 7 wins, and against some bigger teams as well. Coventry, As a club, do you see them growing?
When we went down there, to be honest with you, it's the best setup that I've seen there. The stadium really nice. The people were really, really welcoming. The fans were nice. Staff were nice. It was a tough game. Listen, like Scott says, the game's not in a position where we can say, you can't do this. We've got to try every avenue possible. Is at the expense of maybe some homeland teams, and making sure we invest into some old teams, your Cumbrian teams. I don't know, but I don't like to criticise too much because at least they're trying. But
the worry is they're growing a club there. I forget the figures. They said however many thousand kids had been out playing rugby league, and the funding's gone. So now that work's going to stop. So what happens now?
Well, again, this is what I'm saying about development officers.
That's what they've cut I think it's the development officer or the Sky Tri money's gone. So if they're going to fund that, they're going to have to do it themselves.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's absolutely ridiculous. You know what I mean? And we're paying our ambassadors, so-called ambassadors, we're supposed to be paying 20 of them or something, 25 grand a year. Why can we not employ 12 development officers around the areas around Coventry? You know, stick him up in white here. My good mucker Lee Crooks did a great job in Newcastle as development officer, and he got the bullet. We need the development officers there to keep the kids interested, because there's loads of talent out there, loads and loads of talent, but we're not digging into it.
Fair enough. Right, what do you want to talk about social media wise? Anything coming up there?
People are concerned about Sky because obviously the deal's coming up in a couple of years, and also Sky being taken over. Don't panic. Whatever the decisions they'll make are based on how many people watch rugby league and the type of people who watch rugby league, the same as every other sport. Don't panic, people. Paul asks, what's Leon's view on the Championship and League One sides that sided with Super League in the recent vote? Just throw him under the bus there.
What's sorry?
In the recent vote for the change of structure, your thought? Well, I guess your thoughts on that in general.
Listen, it's a bit like Brexit. We've had the vote. That's the way it's gone. Let's all get behind it. You know, it's only a restructuring. There's a lot bigger problems in our game than the format of the competition. You know, like we've talked about just so far, we need to, whatever the decision is, let's all get behind it now. We've got a brilliant game. We've got some brilliant players. We've got some brilliant people involved. Let's try and be positive. It's so easy to be negative and to put our game down, and we have a go at everything every week. But let's all get behind it now, because we're in a tough situation where Sky funding is going to go down, participation's down. We've had a big argument for the last 6-7 weeks publicly about the format of it and the structure. Well, it's done now. Let's get on with it and let's try and get this game going forward.
Good stuff. People are moaning. Now we've got Mike, so the score is shouting. So we'll turn his down in a minute. We had a producer, but
I'll sneak up.
Like the RFL, we've had to make cuts. Sad as that is, we will go deal with that now. Right,
people on YouTube will see me.
I want to talk about if you watch on YouTube, that's the back of Richard's head. I want to talk about what happened on the field. We've got to start in the qualifiers, fellas. 3 Championship teams beating 3 Super League teams. That is some effort, and by the sounds of it, all fully deserved as well. I want to start off with London.
Brilliant.
Beating Salford.
Brilliant.
They have given themselves a real chance now, haven't they?
Brilliant win. So happy with Danny Ward, great guy under, as I said before, I think because of how well Andrew Henderson did while they were there, I think he were under quite a bit of pressure to continue that kind of the progress that was being made. For me, that's the win of the week, to beat a Salford team that have been pretty handy last couple of months. So that gives them a massive chance to get into Super League. Now, I think we go into this weekend where any result, there's about 7 different outcomes, isn't there? So it gives them a massive chance, a huge win.
I'm surprised you haven't been getting hammered this week, Scully, because the London, obviously you said you thought London would miss out. We've been there, we've done it. You're happy for Danny Ward, but I mean, I did tip last week London to win, by the way, on this show. And
I did.
I don't think you did. I think you might have done. I did actually. Or was that the one you got wrong? Which one did you get? You got one of them wrong. Anyway, I move on. They've beaten Salford. If they beat Halifax this week, it's going to take a pretty amazing set of results to not get in.
Oh, it is, and they'll beat Halifax, because to be honest, I would imagine Halifax will be playing the man Monday, won't they, to be honest with you? They've nothing to play for from there. So yeah, but London have been outstanding, and certainly when you saw the first game of these qualifiers, when London played Widnes, you could just see how much they're enjoying playing under the 2 coaches in Danny Ward and Jamie Lanley. You know, the expression, what they played, and that freedom, what they're allowed to play with. And they've enjoyed this experience, but now the experience, what's getting them there, is going to get them either maybe automatic promotion or the £1 million game. Great job the players have done, but as Leon said, as we all know, and I said at the beginning of the season, the reason why I didn't think anywhere London had been near the top 8, you know, I tipped it to be 10th. I'll say that quietly. I tipped London to be 10th, and now they could get automatic promotion to Super League, not certainly the MPG game, but the reason why I said that, you know, because of the great work Henderson did, I'm just thinking, well, would the players buy into Danny Ward? Boy, oh boy, have they bought into Danny Ward, and he's done a fantastic job.
They have.
So all the 6 London fans, leave me alone, will you?
Oh, hey, come on.
But can I want to make a point here as well. I can understand the frustration with London and with how much money we've invested down there, and the crowd's never really getting much bigger and always been small. But we've had some fantastic players. We've had Tony Clubb, Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook, you know, Amari Caro, the winger at Hull KR played, Kieran Dixon, and I'm sure there's probably 7 Sargentson at Wigan.
Well, we're seeing more youngsters now sign up for Super League.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about pathways, we talk about pathway. London Broncos, even though the club's not been supported brilliantly, has been a pathway for Super League players and Super League talent, and it might not be a huge amount, but there has been players out of London that have transferred and come into good Super League teams and had a good career.
Is this Phil Kaplan? He sounds like Phil Kaplan.
I'm just giving you a different side. I'm giving you a different point of view.
Must be that seat. No, but a great win. I mean, we expect them, and this is not disrespectful to Halifax because they give Leeds a good go and they give OKR a good go the week before, but it's almost a step too far, isn't it, for them at the minute? I mean, we mustn't forget they're part-time.
Oh yeah, and again, from a coach's point, I like Richard Marshall. You know, Richard Marshall, for me now, I think he should be in line realistically to maybe become an assistant at a big Super League club to follow in the footsteps from there. I'm sure that's going to be the pathway for Liam, what he wants to, you know, to maybe follow up there, because there's good quality English coaches out there. But yeah, the players themselves, they enjoy playing for Marshall. He plays the game in the right way. He gets the tune out of the players. No, they won't go down there and lie down, but they know themselves. It's the last game of the season. We all know we got the Mad Monday Club the day after from there. So yeah, but London, they'll be far too strong. They'll be looking to put plenty of points on the board, and I expect London to put plenty of points on the board.
It's going to be interesting. I'm just trying to work out when that actual game is.
Saturday at 7 o'clock.
Saturday. So they may well know what they need to do. Should we, with hindsight, all these games are kicking off at the same time?
Yeah, well, I think we do it on the last game of the season for football, don't we?
Yeah.
And how much excitement that brings, as well as, you know, I think 100% all the games should be the exact same time kick-off and try and create as much atmosphere and buzz around the games whilst they're being played.
Because also as well, fellas, every game with the couple of qualifiers, they're all on Sky, aren't they? They've been the so-called quality Super League where we haven't been getting over the last few weeks, so they're putting the qualifiers on, which has got everybody excited. And I said the game on Thursday, Toulouse and Salford, and then on Monday night, the big one, Toronto against the Rhinos, and then London, Halifax, and OKR.
Well, we'll talk about those, the other games as well. But big win for London. Salford, all of a sudden, despite the fact they've got a good points difference, just sweating a little bit because they have to beat Toulouse. Well,
the fact of the matter is, when Salford got themselves into the bottom four, they had to bring a bit of quality in. Hastings has come in. He's been the main difference. I saw for the one-man side.
Well, they've played the last two and they've lost the last two.
Well, I thought he'd been suspended for 2 games.
That's what I mean. He's missed that.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. So, at Salford, a one-man side, so the pressure is on him now.
Is he back this week?
He's back this week, yeah.
Is it at Salford?
Yeah,
it's at Salford, you know. So, but Toulouse again, you know, when I saw them play against Leeds a couple of weeks ago, I'll tell you what, they will go down there and lie down. They play the game in the right way, so they'll be getting ripped in, and that battle between Hastings and Jonathan Ford for Toulouse, that is going to be worth the admission money alone. Well,
we heard obviously London getting their victory. What about Toulouse? I mean, I was following it on social media. They went 19-0 down. I'm thinking, oh, job done, OKR have won. That's it, they're safe.
French sides, I know this from experience, French teams at home are a completely different outfit of when they play over away in England. They're so passionate, the crowd get behind it, the crowd go crazy, the referee's under more pressure, and they get a little stiff like they did at the weekend. And the French teams at home they're unstoppable sometimes. That's exactly what's happened there. I've seen them come back from 19 points, and I just thought once they get a roll on French soil, the crowd start going wild, the referee starts being under pressure. It's very easy for a team to crumble. I've been there, played it at Catalans, loads and loads of games where we've smashed them just from the referee losing plot because he's under so much pressure. I've seen referees get cigarettes stubbed out on them and fans throwing bottles at them and going crazy because it's so hostile. So hostile, and it's any French place, it's hard. It's a hard place to go, very hard.
Hull they've cancelled their end of season do score this week. They are worried now. They are very worried. As it stands, they're in the £1 million game. You could argue it's out of their hands now.
He's out of their hands.
Well, he's out of their hands, but they know exactly what they've got to do because everybody else played before, haven't they? You know, so they know. So that's an added pressure, isn't it? That is an added pressure for OKR. So.
But they're playing Widnes, Scott. If they don't beat Widnes, they don't deserve to be in.
But it is added pressure, but also as well, cancelling the players' presentation night again. That adds a little bit more pressure because the players are saying, well, you know, a bit relaxing now. Let's have a bit a relaxing week because we know exactly what's on the line. But as you just mentioned there, they're playing an absolute rubbish Widnes side who realistically they're gone. the finish. So Hull KR, I've tipped Hull KR beating McCollum away by 42 points, and it wouldn't surprise me if they beat them by 42 points.
We'll give Leeds Rhinos Subuto would give Widnes a try. I think. Well, give them a game.
It's been a bit harsh here, fellas. It's been a bit harsh here. Come on.
They've been relegated. They've been rubbish. They're bottom of the
I'm not getting involved in that.
No, that's fair enough. We'll come back to that in a minute, though. Go on.
Well, 10 defeats in a row for Hull now with the Catalans.
Oh, we'll go there in a minute. Come on, hold your fire. Hold your fire. Hold your fire. We're talking Toulouse, we're talking Hull KR.
Yeah.
Hull KR. The big worry I've got about this weekend is we're told there's an £500,000 parachute payment for the team that gets relegated. Widnes have been relegated. They're going to get £500,000 big ones. They're sat on the table. There's a risk if they beat Hull KR might get relegated, which means that £500,000 big ones get split in half. It's like you're thinking, hang on lads, I'm not sure we want to win this. That can't be right. That cannot be right.
Mr. Wilson, you can't be saying there could be a little bit of argy-bargy, surely.
Look, Widnes are going to be in financial. They're going to have to reorganise their club. Every pound is going to count.
Said that as
why do they want to potentially lose £250,000 by beating Widnes, by beating Hull KR on Sunday?
I agree with you. I totally agree. They want the 500 big ones. I agree with you. That's why they're going to get absolutely hammered by 42 points. There you go. There you go.
It's right though.
Yeah. No, that's the kind of game I'll let you guys talk about. That.
Yeah, that's fair enough. We don't want you getting involved. That's what he's here for. We will talk also, only fair, we've mentioned the other two, we've got to talk Toronto. I'll tell you what, looked a good atmosphere at the weekend. I watched it on the telly. Thought they were going to throw it away. But just saw it out at the end, and again, you'd argue Toronto's destiny now. They're third in the table. Is in their own hands.
I tell you what, I've watched Toronto now. I'd say this season around about 6 times. I tell you what, you watch them and you're at the telly, and you literally want to just boot the telly because you're thinking, why are you giving silly indisciplined penalties away? Why? You're experienced players, you're quality players. You don't need to do what you're doing, because if they cut out the penalties and indiscipline, they will blow away teams. They can win beat teams easy by about 20 odd points, but they just all of a sudden for about 5 or 10 minutes think, tell you what, I'm just going to be disciplined here. So they keep the opposition. That's exactly what they did with Widnes at the weekend. So if Toronto, because again on Friday night for Leeds, they're in Super League, they're safe. So it's all about the attitude of Leeds, how they want to play it on Friday night. So I would imagine with Toronto,
Leeds won't play it soft. Leeds will go all out.
Well, what I'm saying is
they've not had a good enough season to be able to ease off. I know the way Kevin Sinfield and James Lawes worked, they won't go steady. They'll go for the win.
I'm not saying they're going, but what I'm saying it's all about the coaches will be hoping there, but it's down to the players themselves, individual and collective by that attitude. But one thing for sure for Toronto, they'll be getting ripped in, and they will know in the first set of 6 what sort of attitude Leeds are coming out there with. But Toronto, if Toronto keep the discipline, they've a chance of winning on Friday.
Toronto play an expansive game style of rugby. They play a bit side to side, very shifty, very open, flary rugby. Leeds have struggled a little bit defensively this year, with the players that have missed out and what have you. But so I think it'll be a high-scoring game, whichever way it goes. It'll be high-scoring, but Leeds definitely won't take the foot off the gas 100%.
Interesting.
I just think it'll be nice, high-scoring, probably exciting game.
Yeah, it's going to be tense, isn't it? I mean, Leeds will be thankful that they did get that way. I know, they've got enough wins. They're in now.
There isn't any pressure on Leeds, so they could go out there and play with that bit of freedom or expression. If they've got the quality players to do that, what we've seen all season, no. But anyway, but Toronto.
Josh Drinkwater linked with Leeds. Would you take him?
Well, he's better than Myler, yeah.
But Myler's on a big money contract. He's not going anywhere, is he?
Well, we're bringing that Tongan over as well. So how many halfbacks do we want? We brought this young kid.
I'm only saying it's been rumoured.
Yeah, but also as well, this young kid as well, McClelland, who's come from Rugby Union by all accounts, he's going to get a start. So how many halfbacks do we need?
Fair enough.
But having said that, one thing for sure, and I know I've ripped him all year, and I still will rip him until the season finished. Richie Maller's not good enough for Leeds, and it's proved it this year to me.
Yeah, you say that though, but it's hard when your full team are not playing brilliantly. You're under pressure. You're down in bottom 8s. You've had a few injuries. Your coach has been sacked. Richie Myler was playing fantastic for Catalans last year. He played his best rugby that he's played in his career at Catalans last year. So you don't turn into a bad player overnight. And I don't watch Leeds, but I'm speaking from a player's point of view. I don't think he's as bad as you're making out, and I think It's very easy. I've had seasons where my head's been in a shed and team's been going poorly and I've played rubbish. And I don't make you a bad player. But
don't make
that you're not good enough to play for Leeds.
But Liam, what I'm saying is, with Richie Martin is, Liam, he's not the organiser what Leeds need.
No, he's never been an organising player.
Yeah, exactly. He's always been. I know, he's a support player.
Yeah, he's a support player like.
So he's not the player what Leeds want. He's not the player what Leeds.
Well, that doesn't make him a bad player.
Oh no, I've never said he's a bad player.
No, you said he's not good enough for Leeds.
Yeah, well, exactly. The role what he's trying to play.
Well, I've said that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
As Drinkwater and maybe Langin, there's a couple of others that I can think of that have maybe had a year at Lee and struggled. And then you put them in a good team, and all of a sudden they look different. But we're quick to judge out. He's not good enough.
Well, that's the part of the game that is being judged, and we need that. We need critics. It's not nice when you're there and you're playing yourself, because I've been there, and you try not to listen to it, but it gets everybody talking. And like you say, when you're playing in a good team, when I played for Bradford, I played in a very, very good Bradford team, and I wasn't at my best, but I played around good players, and they were good. I went to St Helens, and I played at 6 around some of the best players in the world, and it were easy. I mean, it were easy for me. I could go and just play a really good brand of rugby, open, free-flowing, and my game improved loads because we're winning every week, playing with brilliant players. If you put me in that Widnes team, I'm sure you'll lot be sat here going, Leon Pryce is brilliant, but it's absolutely terrible now. Not good enough to wear a shirt, he's overpaid. Because of the players that you're playing around, the confidence of the team, losing your coach, injuries, so many factors to put into why a player's playing the way he is. But you guys get paid to criticise.
Yeah, but also as well, when you with Josh Drinkwater, I saw him at Lee, and he was absolutely shocking, to be honest with you. But the great thing about me with Josh was, he was open on to the League Express about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and he's saying, well, at Lee I wasn't allowed to play how I wanted to play.
Yeah, that's a big thing as well.
That's what I'm saying, Lee. So my point is with Drinkwater is it's quite simple. Why, as a coach, why would you want to take the asset what he's got? McNamara identified that they needed an organising halfback. Drinkwater, he came to the year from the phone call, and what Drinkwater said about McNamara is it's not coaching, it's man management. Hey, listen, I can see what you can do. You go out there, you're the main man, you're the main organiser. Go out there and do it and express yourself, and that's what made him the player what he is.
I agree with you, because I'll give you this example, and this is not the reason why I probably didn't play my best at all. When I played at St Helens, Longy were organiser, I was second receiver. So Longy would go there, and wherever we were, we just swapped round side of the fields. And we could just do whatever we wanted on the field. It was free roll, wasn't it? Free reign. When I went to Hull, I had to play right-sided and stay on the right side.
Well, that's rubbish.
So my game then completely changed. I wasn't the athletic person that I were at Saints, but still, it does have a massive effect on your game. Huge.
Well, this is what I say about the combination of balance with halfbacks, Leon. There's one who's a main organiser, and then the second one, which is the stand-off like yourself, it's quite simple. Hold on, Longy, just have 5 minutes. I'll take over. I'll be the main organiser. Yeah. But when I hear halfbacks say to me, and I've had Danny Maguire say to me, "Well, Scoey, I can only stay on the right side." Like you're also saying, I can only stay on the right side. I know. I said to the coach, "You can stick it right up when he doesn't belong." I can reassure you.
You go to that chance.
I wanted to don't worry about that. You could just stay on the right hand side. What an absolute load of toss! Because halfbacks, they're the main organisers. You play what you see, and play with that vision and awareness.
But at the same time, a coach has got to believe in his structure 100% and play to it. And all have had great success with that structure that they've had. They've won 2 Challenge Cups, and you can't argue with it. I'm just saying, like you say, Josh Drinkwater said he's just playing with freedom, and that suits him probably.
Well, that's why he'll get the best out of you then, because you wasn't enjoying the role what you was asked to do.
But half the reason, my athletically, I'd deteriorated quite a bit with it. I wasn't athletically like I was probably 3 years previous, but playing sided compared to playing swinging and playing with an halfback who was on the ball definitely had contributed to it. 100%.
Matty Smith, I saw him at the cup final. He had his son had a little Catalan shirt on. Look, he's got a Catalan. It seemed Drinkwater's been bombed out. It seems. I know John Davison, our colleague, I think spoke to him the other day. Not happy that he's been bombed out. Drinkwater.
Who's not happy?
Josh Drinkwater.
Well, I think Matty Smith has been signed for a while though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he'd be a good fit for many in Super League, wouldn't he? Is he going to be in Super League next year, Drinkwater?
Well, I don't understand why they're replacing Drinkwater.
Well, if they've already got a deal,
I think they'd signed him 4 months ago maybe.
Yeah, wasn't Drinkwater Catalans at that time?
Well, maybe they've made a decision before. So anyway, that's
well, we'll give a show then. They might not have thought that Drinkwater was going to play as well as what he did.
Yeah.
So I guess now they're thinking we can't go back on this. But Drinkwater, he'll be quality. If he's allowed to play how he wants to play, he'll be an asset to any side. Without a doubt.
Yeah, there's not many halfbacks around, are there? They're few and far between.
Who can organise?
Yeah, who can organise. So he'll definitely go to a good club.
We've got loads of social media. I've got just in a sec, Rich, because one of them asked about Jacob Truman. Now at Castleford.
Yes.
You played. Well, you'll have been
training
around him at Bradford.
Yeah. I've just drove past him before I come here.
I spoke to Darryl Powell last week. And he said, "Can't believe what a talent this kid is." He thinks he struck gold with Truman.
Yes, we had 2-3 months training at Bradford before, or 2 months before we went bankrupt. I were old and fat and on one leg, but he were playing six in the academy against each other, and he ripped me to shreds. One stepped past me, went round me, flick ball out of the back, caught it, try, and I thought, I'm not seeing that in a 17, 18-year-old kid, maybe ever. He'll be England's six within 2-3 years minimum, maximum. Sorry, he's got it. He's a good kid. He's level-headed. He's works hard. He'll be playing England soon.
You saw him at Wigan when he made his debut. And I know Darryl mentioned particularly how impressive his defence is, because he's a little lad, is he? And they do bully. They try and bully.
He's not little. He's not little.
But well,
he'll grow. He's only a kid, isn't he? He's just a kid.
But that's what I mean.
He'll get man size. He'll get his man size as he gets older.
Let's be fair. If you're playing against him, you're going to try and run at him and tire him out.
Well, if I'm playing against him in my prime, I'll kill him. I'm too old now.
Scully
definitely would.
Oh, Truman. Well, he's sheer quality, and Widnes out now with a busted shoulder. George Williams is showing, the form what we know George can do, but unfortunately, for some reason, Wayne Bennett doesn't seem to like it. That was proved in the World Cup last year. So for me, Truman, for the England against New Zealand, having him in the squad, because combination of half-back, a club combination will be great. Truman now is ready for international rugby league at the highest level. Forget about the Lions, he's ready now to join that England setup.
Very good. Rich,
I want to say hello to all the people watching on YouTube. Apologies for the camera angle, it is rubbish, that's my fault.
Why didn't you use a tripod?
I don't know, that's what I'm thinking.
Schoolboy, Eric.
I know, exactly.
Schoolboy. Our producer wouldn't have had that mistake.
No, exactly, take the responsibility. I've hidden all the cakes as well. On things that happened in the qualifiers this weekend.
Yes.
I remember a long time ago. You have to stay with me, listeners, because once upon a time, Wakefield were rubbish. We were in the Super League, we were rubbish, and we played something Bradford Bulls. And do you remember them? I think Leon was playing them at that point.
He'll probably beat you.
Exactly, stuffed by Bradford. And on that very same night, I was out in Wakefield. Surprisingly, the Bradford Bulls players were not out in Wakefield on that night. I don't know where they were, but the Wakefield players were. Which we accosted some of them, including Gareth Ellis, who of course went on to be quite good. Told him they played rubbish in a certain... Well, we're not using the word rubbish. And he said, yes, we were very rubbish, he said. Unfortunately, the Widnes players have been caught out on social media this week, because we didn't have social media back in the early 2000s when Wakefield were rubbish. But the Widnes players, unfortunately, have been caught on camera in Toronto enjoying the hospitality, shall we say.
Look, the players, they got relegated at the weekend. They've obviously gone out for a few beers. They're there. It's not like they're coming straight home after the game. What's your view?
I'll let Scully say it.
I mean, you go on all the time about going out for a few beers. Have you got any issue with that as a Widnes player going out for a few pots on Saturday night?
I don't have an issue with one little bit.
No?
I personally speaking, if I was coaching the club or if I was playing, knowing the problem with the cameras and what issue it can cause, I probably would have just stayed stay behind closed doors. You have a drink, do what you want, but stay in a hotel. That gets rid of this problem.
Yeah.
It keeps this problem. There is nothing wrong with it, but at the end of the day, people will see it as you celebrating a loss. Whichever way you look at it, that's what they'll see it as. So to get rid of that and to keep that away, for me, I just say do it behind closed doors, then you can't have these problems. Just stay in your hotel, get as drunk as you want. do it behind closed doors.
That's all right. No, hey, look, it's that's how it is, isn't it? I know it's upset some people.
That's it will do.
Yeah.
Some people will be okay with it.
Yeah.
Some won't. To stop that problem, stay behind closed doors, lock your doors, and do your thing inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, William says it's a disgrace, and in fairness to Widnes fans, they've had to put up with a lot of.
Yeah, they have.
So you can understand why.
Yeah,
I understand it completely. I totally understand it. I'm not having a go at the Widnes players. I just think, as a decision as a club, just say, listen, boys, let's stay away from cameras. We're not on social media. There's Twitter, there's Instagram. People are going to record you. Just stay in the hotel for tonight, and when we get home, we'll have us drink.
Nicholas was at the game. He says, they weren't like that at the end of the game. Obviously, they were gutted. And Sandy says, I can't believe the fans went crazy with anger when the video went out. What do you want them to do? Sulk? The answer is yes, because they are in a. We look at things as fans completely differently to people whose job it is. Not all of them are going to be, you know.
I think from a player's point of view, especially in this day and age, what we try and do as much as possible is look at it from the fans' point of view. Even though it's not our point of view, if we can see your point of view and act accordingly, then it stops that happening.
Yeah,
I mean?
Nicholas is coming and said, look, the players were devastated.
Yeah, of course they were.
And we saw it at Bradford when they lost at Huddersfield. We all knew they were going to get relegated, but when it actually happened and it was official, the players were devastated.
The players don't go out wanting to lose. The players don't want to go out there. They'll feel they'll be absolutely devastated. You know, the team's broken up, the contracts are changing, the lives will be changing. But my point of view is just keep out of public view.
You see, we win this all season. We know it's not been of lack of effort and commitment and desire. It's just been a lack of quality. It's as simple as that. You know, even on Saturday when they were getting beat, the effort and commitment and desire were there.
We got a lot of messages on social media over the weekend. Fans upset. You know, I think there's a lot of ill feeling against James Rule, the chief exec, who's come out and said the fans have got to get behind the club. I don't think they've been the problem. And people, it goes back for me. We've said it a million times on the show. They sold Kevin Brown. They didn't get a replacement.
Biggest. That was the biggest problem.
You know, and that's it.
Yeah, because Kev Brown just for about 4 or 5 years was such a linchpin for them. I mean, the way he played for that club was unbelievable. But second he went to Warrington and they never replaced him, did they?
No, and I almost feel fair play to him for not standing in his way and letting him go. The issue I have is they've got the money and they didn't replace him. They should have replaced him before he went. And I think that was their demise.
And then again as well, you know, sacking Dennis throughout the season. And I say I was at the game when. And the game when he got the sack after the Wakefield game, and, you know, and the hatred and the bitterness of the fans, you know, towards Dennis when he was up there in his shed at the top of the stand, and when he was coming down at half time and then at full time, it just the directors had to do something because of the way of the spectators. Well, but I tell you what, you know, I would imagine now maybe say, well, was it the right call to get rid of Dennis, and it's been proved. That hasn't been the right call.
Maybe getting rid of Dennis was the right call, but was the appointment they made the right appointment? You look at what Wakefield did when they got rid of James Webster, they brought in Brian Smith.
Brian Smith didn't have much success.
He won the game that mattered. He won the game that mattered.
But he didn't have much success though.
No. I'm glad he left.
Oh, there you go then.
But he won the game. He won the game that mattered. The only game that mattered.
Is the one who sounds like he doesn't like Brian Smith?
Yeah, no, they only one game.
That's the only one that mattered.
Yeah, I won't say it's a massive success because they got rid of him and got Chester.
Yeah. We want to talk about Wakey, and we'll go to that now because I watched the game. I didn't want working Friday. I had a couple of beers, watched it in the pub score. I get up Saturday morning and the players have got absolutely battered on social media. The Wakey player, and I'm thinking, well, I think Chris Chester said they were down to the last 17 players. I understand one of the players pulled out before the game, so I think whoever came in on the bench basically shouldn't have been playing. I thought they gave it a right good dig at Cass. I thought they had a couple of big calls went against them. Ben Jones Bishop should have had a try. I thought they did all right, and yet they're getting hammered. I'm thinking, hang on, what do Wakefield fans want? You're fifth in Super League, right? You've got an injury-ravaged squad, and you've got to a team in the playoffs, and you've lost. All right, you don't want to lose to Cass. You've lost. Don't criticise the players. Do not criticise effort, commitment. Come on, that's not fair.
Well, exactly as well, and again, just where that Cass they've got a little bit more quality. That's why they got beat. But again, when you question about the desire and the effort and the commitment, there's nothing wrong with that Wakefield side. And as you've just mentioned, they're finishing fifth. I think before the season started, we had them around about the 6th and 7th mark, didn't we? You know, so they're finishing fifth. They've got Warrington this week at home there. So you Wakefield fans, get behind your side. You know, get behind Michael Carter, get behind Chris Chester. They want 5,000 or 6,000 people there every week instead of criticising. There was nothing wrong. There was nothing wrong with that performance. All right, okay, they got beat at the big Yorkshire derby, but there was nothing wrong with that performance from commitment and desire and purpose. It was just simple. Cass had a little bit too much more quality.
Yeah, I think as well. I think that the Wakefield fans should, what we were saying before, remember where they've come from. I mean, when I played at Bradford and Saints, what have you, they were a bottom of the table team that we could put 40, 50 points on no problem. Whenever they played, whenever we played them. They've been in top 5, top 6 now for 2-3 years on trot. They've not even been in the bottom qualifiers. They've not been in the £1 million game.
They're not really even been close.
They've not even been close. And the gradual progress of the club and the players, it's been brilliant. And you know, they're now competing against the Saints, against your Wiggins. They compete and sometimes beat them. And they've got some decent players. You know, they're not probably to get into that top 4 bracket. You're gonna have to spend another 200, 300, 400k. That's the difference. You want to get into that top bracket of players, that top 5, which are only just one off. he's probably spending another 200-300 grand a year.
Here's a question. Michael Carter, Chris Chester, Drinkwater, is he a player they could do with?
Without it.
Yeah?
Yeah, not always about
Leon, would you be looking to add him?
100%.
Yeah. Rich, you're the Wakefield fan. What did you make of the criticism at the weekend? I couldn't believe it.
Can I say people are idiots? People are idiots.
So what were they saying about the performance?
They were saying rubbish, they gave in, they weren't bothered.
I watched a different game to what I was watching then.
Here's the thing. As soon as Wakefield got in the 8 and couldn't get in the top 4, that's the end of the season.
That's it, yeah.
So I'm all these games have happened since that point. I'm not that bothered. If they lose, they've all lost the cash.
They haven't done that bad though, have they? That's the thing. They've not had much to play for, but still won.
Yeah.
I mean, they went over to Huddersfield, they had not lost a game in how many, and beat them at Huddersfield.
Yeah.
I mean, if they didn't care and they weren't bothered, well, they wouldn't go there and win that game, would they?
Yeah.
Smashed Hull. I'd rather be a Wakefield fan than a Hull fan.
Smashed Hull, yeah.
And also, as well, the way Chester gets them playing, they play a good brand of rugby league. They seem like you want to watch.
We lost to Cass, and we've lost to Cass the last 10 times, whatever. But last time I checked, Castleford have been in the Challenge Cup final 4 years ago. We're in the grand final last year. They won the League Leaders' Shield. They're actually quite good.
Yeah.
It's not like we're losing to someone rubbish 10 times in a row. You know, it's...
And they could be in grand final this year.
Yeah. And the criticism of Max Jowett is ridiculous because he's a young player who is exceedingly talented. You can see that when you watch him. He knocked the ball in a couple of times. Who cares?
Well, he's the one that came in, so I'm assuming if they were out of 17 fit players and he wasn't in the squad, then he shouldn't have been playing. So we should almost credit him. Fair play, mate.
It's the nature of this business that we're in here on social media. People like to criticise, and when bad things happen as a player, just stay off social media, ignore it, because that's what's going to happen from time to time.
It's the it's the people who will lionise average players who try hard over talented players who make mistakes.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
We've been saying, get Leon on every week. He talks sense and has got the financial aspect spot on. Right, all right, well, the question is, who do we vote off?
I'm off.
I've enjoyed the fact that Jimmy says, is this Wakefield TV? No, it's one fact.
Come on!
Usually have a Leeds look.
Get it, grip. We're not allowed to talk about Leeds. Yeah, never mind.
People are so money about the YouTube camera.
Do you want to go move it? Do you want to go move it?
No, we've only just got Facebook. Just complaining about the sound on there. Trust me, you can see on YouTube. The Facebook people can't see what you can see, which is working.
You see the electrical equipment we've got out and bought. Look at that.
Hello to all our YouTube fans. Robert's concerned because he thinks that rugby league could go the way of Speedway, but I don't like to talk about Speedway because I got criticised that time I did. But I don't know if that was in
let's not talk about Speedway.
No.
Rommel Saint has asked Leon, what is the biggest derby in rugby league? Judging by his name, this is a loaded question. Obviously the answer is Wakefield versus Castleford, but he says, is it Saints, Wigan, Leeds, Bradford, or the whole derby?
Right, so for me, in my opinion, as a Bradfordian, the Bradford Leeds was the biggest when I was playing at Bradford, but then when I moved to Saints, the Saints Wigan derby was on another level. For me, the biggest derby is that, but that's probably the history of the clubs winning lots and lots of trophies. Always been probably in the top two or three in the Super League or the Old League. It's probably the tradition of winning trophies that makes it feel a little bit more special. The whole Hull FC and OKR they call the real derby, the Omen derby, because they're both in the same city. That's got extra spice with it. I mean, the fans have a real kind of hatred towards each other, which is good, but for me, in my opinion, just me, I'd say Saints Wigan.
Certainly the answer should have been Whitehaven and Workington.
Oh God, that's just as bad. The fans up there are worse. The fans up there, they really want bad things to happen to each other.
Do you want the disciplinary news?
Yes.
I don't know what Huddersfield under 19s were up to, but well done to them. 2 players banned out of their squad, so well done Cameron and Sam Hewitt. But Oliver Partington, Wigan, grade B, drops knees first on opponent on the ground. One match.
Really poor, I thought. He went in with the knees, didn't he? The young kid at Wigan, and when he took him straight off, it was a poor one. It was Mamos was on the deck. And he just ran in, didn't he? Knees first. It was a poor challenge. I would say one game.
What about that since playing Leeds as well? With that, has he been put on report?
The only other players who have got a Chase Stanley of Toronto, grade B dangerous contact, 1 match.
So he won't be there on Friday.
Brad Singleton, grade B strikes with hand, arm or shoulder, 2 matches, so he missed £1 million game. Or a game next season. Or an England game, I don't know how it works. And Jack Mitchell of Hemel. Grade B, oh yeah.
She's not been done, Leeds.
Grade B, foul and abusive language towards a match official.
I tell you what as well, we're just talking about the discipline now, we look at 12,000 miles away. You look at that Billy Slater, that was never ever a shoulder charge.
Was it going to get done?
He's been signed that they're having to employ the top barrister who got Justin Hodges off in 2015. But I've watched it, and I've watched it closely, and I've slowed it down. That is never. Honestly.
How did you do this?
Because a mate of mine who went to the FIFA game yesterday, he had it on there, and I was listening to Phil Gould, Andrew Jones, and the commentator. That is never ever a shoulder charge. That is just a quality full-back defensive tackling from a fullback. That is never ever a shoulder charge.
If my fullback were there in that situation and he didn't do that, I'd be gutted. Because it's a try otherwise.
It's never ever a shot. And
stop the try.
When you watch the Cronulla player, he sticks his elbow up first as well, so he's got it there, so you can say that's half a shoulder charge. It was sensational with Billy Slater. There's no way, mate, he should be suspended for that. If it is, well, the game is going to
even all the guys on the telly, and I thought they went too far. It was a loving. I get it. It's his last. It could be his last game.
Forget about that. It was just a quality defensive tackle.
And then they all went, yeah, but if you don't call Billy Slater, you get banned. So where's the line? Where's the line? Does he get away with that?
I couldn't care less if it's Billy Slater or not. That was just a quality defensive full-back tackle. It was never a shoulder charge.
Those are the rules. I didn't make the rules up.
Well, do you know what? If that discipline, look at it. If I were in the discipline, I'd be like that. Well, what we look at this for? It's not a shoulder charge. It's not a shoulder charge.
Is this why you're not the disciplinary?
It's not. And if he gets banned, it's ridiculous whether it's Billy Slater or not.
He won't get banned.
They're having to employ the top barrister in Australia, the one who got Hodges off in 2015, to make sure he doesn't.
His career could end in a judicial. It would be unfortunate, but
that's the rules.
Greg Bird missed Wembley. He didn't get let off, did he?
Yeah.
He could be the Alan Shearer of.
Yeah, but Mark, it wasn't a shoulder charge anyway. But I tell you, it'd be disgraceful if he's suspended.
Sorry, it was that dangerous boot of Neil Lennon's dangerous head, wasn't it? Going
it was.
Speaking of the internet, Matt says Brad Tickleton will miss the Boxing Day friendly. The Weatherby Whaler challenge.
He's gutted. He's just wanted his mum up for a full Christmas dinner.
Right, lads, we're in here.
I'm round.
Wigan Academy were versus Huddersfield in that exciting game. Where's this message gone? Oh, Peter says, why does Scully's microphone sound louder? It's Scully.
He's got a big voice.
Scully.
Thanks to John, what's rid of me?
Yeah,
that's a bit harsh, isn't it?
What's always you get rid of?
Tell you what, lads, I just send out the message. We need a cup of tea up here. Is that the a cup of tea up here, please? Yeah, go on. Yeah. If anybody's listening,
not allowed to ring the bell anymore.
If anybody's listening,
someone said get rid of Phil, but they don't realise that we're buying Phil's shop.
Listen, we can't get rid of Phil. He's the most intelligent one between the four of us. Don't worry about that.
Can't he's putting the electric.
Boy, oh boy.
I don't know how many plugs we've got in today. Carl says, if you sit in the stands, not the press box, you know the fans are not happy with refs. Not mistakes, but their general strategy. Slow ball play, blowing for minor rule infringements. Well, they are rule infringements. Being kidded by divers and time wasters. Well, no time wasting next year, of course, because Ralph was on the telly. Shot clock. Big fan of it. So, he runs rugby league. He should be saying, well, that's it now. He's the boss.
Players play at Leon Pryce.
Pardon?
Players play act. Why does that happen? Why do they fall over at the slightest touch at the play of the ball? Why does this happen?
I think it got progressively got worse. And then I think the referees have let a lot of it go now. I think if you dive forward and play the ball, if you wriggle and you jiggle about, they're just saying play on now. So it's getting progressively better now, I think, than what it was. Players do it because they gain penalties. I mean, if you get knocked off the ball and you fall on the floor and you're down and you can get back up, but you know if you stay down, the game gets stopped. The play gets reviewed. The play goes back into his earpiece. It's a penalty. Players will stay down. So until you sort that side of it out, players are going to say, if I've got whacked a touch high, is it high or is it not? I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll stay on the floor. It could be sore. They'll review it up on the screen. They'll come back down through his earpiece, penalty, we kick out of yardage, we're over halfway line. I've just gave my team another set of 6 and got myself out of yardage. That's why it happens.
Yeah. So you, as a coach, if one of your players does it, do you say, well, all right, that's fair enough? If you
don't encourage it. What you need is ex-players, the media, to make sure that we scrutinise it that much that it just finds its way back out. We need the referees to be on board to make sure that they don't blow a whistle for people diving on the floor. The more scrutiny we give it, hopefully the more it'll go out of the game, because we don't want it like that.
It's like another big talking point as well is dropouts and players are fair injuries there. Do the shot clock the same. You've got a minute and it's got to be kicked. I'd put it down to 30 seconds.
Well, put it down to 30 seconds, and I'm not arguing about time. Just say you've got to kick it. If somebody's down, you've got to defend with 10. Whoever's down, you're down. That's it. I mean, we're not stopping it.
No,
he's behind.
But they're not injured on it, Leon. They're just pretending they're
injured. What I'm saying is, even if they're down, you've got to move them off the back of the field and just play on.
Yeah, we can guarantee they won't be down.
Yeah, but they're doing it in NRL. They're doing it in NRL.
Because they've worked out the cheating, because they're not injured.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, so why can't we do exactly what they're doing?
I agree.
Some defence of the Widnes players. From Widnes fans, Con says there was nothing wrong with what the players did in Toronto. They're interacting with the fans who paid £1,000 plus to get there. Much bigger problems at the club. Yes, there are. And Tony says, don't forget those players on the L have a duty of care to the competition. Hull KR this Sunday is an important game for Toulouse, Toronto and London, as well as the Rovers.
And Dom has messaged in a lot of times, says, can you please tell Leon I said hello, he's such a hero of mine.
Hi Dom, I hope you're well, thank you very much.
Good
appreciate it.
Yeah, good stuff. That's the T-bell coming in right now. What else do we want to talk about? Billy Slater, a lot of people on about that one, yay or nay, saying it wasn't a shoulder charge. Should be allowed in the game.
Well, they'll find out. No, it's that mystery person I'm not seeing for it.
Oh, yeah. Carry on, we've got to keep talking.
Yeah, Mickey says it was brilliant full-back play. Andy says it was a shoulder charge. Jimmy says, we're not playing the same rules you were in the 60s, Scott. It's a bit harsh. It was a blatant shoulder charge, says Jay. Jane says, ask him to define a shoulder charge. Should be going to Specsavers.
well, we all know about Scully's glasses, don't we, from that optician that robbed him in Leeds that time, so we better not mention him. Have you not seen that picture, Leon, of Gary's glasses? We'll get it up for you. It is worst glasses ever in the world.
For our podcast listeners, it is 7 o'clock. So that means we're halfway through.
Well, it's 5 past, really.
But no, if the podcast works, then.
Alright. What do you mean if it works?
Well,
just a reminder, by the way, podcast-wise as well. I know a lot of people, you dip in and out, you catch up with the podcast. Record numbers again last week. Really, really grateful. If you could leave us a little review, 5-star rating would be nice as well. And share that with your friends every week. That would be superb. Much appreciated. Right.
And apologies to Nicholas because he said, ask my questions, I've got to go back to school.
Oh, yes, at school, isn't he?
I forgot what questions he was asking, so ask us again next week.
Yeah.
We'll make sure we get them in at some point. Everyone's impressed with Leon. You do more media work, says just about everyone. Cool. There's no one getting paid here today. Any thoughts on cast director of rugby, John Wells, says Carl.
Hold on, can I stop you there? I stop you there?
Yeah.
John Wells, right, did you listen to the Toronto game at the weekend? When the 6 in front and they get a penalty right in front of the post and he goes, put it in the corner, and I'm like, what? Put it in, kick the goal, and he went, no, put it in the corner, put it in the corner. It was terrible. I hope he's not talking to Darryl Powell when they're going to win the grand final and win my bet, you know.
Listen, it's quite a simple answer to that. He was a winger and not a very good one at that.
Oh, I can't believe it.
He's played some.
Hey, but also as well, let me just say this as well. You know, Toronto, do you know the crowd, the music, what they play? Is everybody into line dancing or something? Did you hear the music? Did you hear the music they were playing?
It was country day.
It was what?
It was country day.
Okay, that's what it was. It was everybody like line dancing in the ground and what.
That was the idea.
Yeah, it was pathetic.
To get fans in.
There were over 8,000 people there having a good time.
Cowboy hats and stuff.
Yeah, but the music was shocking. It was awful. Too much of it and all.
I've been to one of your parties, so don't you criticise anyone about music. Right, sorry, you Carl
back to John Wells, back to Carl and John. Someone's asking what's the T-boy doing when he's not in the studio? I don't know.
No. Carl brought him in for that. He can't afford to paint or do anything else.
Actually, it's a lady who makes the tea. Tracy who makes the tea. Never mind the producer.
Cheers.
Alright, yeah. Cheers, Trace.
Carl says, any thoughts on cast director of rugby John Wells calling for the refs panel to look at Mike Cooper's tackle? Conflict of interest. Means on the field, not.
It's a tough one, and we've raised this before, haven't we? You know, you can't. It's like having you on the telly questioning a Bradford.
Yeah.
Who they're playing next week? Oldham.
Yeah.
You can't really do it, can you?
Not really, no. Well, you can do. What do you do? What do you say? I mean, he's been working at Sky a long time. I don't like to criticise him too much because he's worked his way up in the media and worked at Sky a long time, and has been given a chance for the CEO at Castleford. So
You can see
I'll let you guys discuss
You can
that.
see
I'll
why
let
some
I'll let
people,
you
I
guys
said this
discuss that.
before, and I'm not criticising. I think when he made that comment about the kick for the corner, you know,
Yeah.
I might have got that wrong, but you can see why people pick up on stuff like that.
Well, they're bound to do. They're bound to do. And it's, yeah, because I know Brian Carney's asked him a couple of straight questions when Cass had been playing, and he didn't answer them. He didn't answer because Wolfie the Shaw, if he answers them the wrong way, Darryl Powell will have him in his office and saying, hold on, I'm the coach here. You know, so it is a conflict of interest. And well, it's simple. When Cass was on Sky, he should not be where the cameras are. Simple as that, because of responsibilities and the job what he has at Castleford Tigers. Simple.
I did enjoy. I think it was at the start of the Toronto game, wasn't it? Because Phil Clark wasn't there. That was it. Brian Carney joked he'd have to be controversial about Wigan, or to have to say something positive about Wigan or something. I can't remember which game it was, but it was quite good. Sandy saying we should be, guys should be less rude about Toronto. We actually have got a Toronto bottle opener.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't know where that's come from.
No.
And
I'm not being rude.
Not being rude.
I'm not being rude.
It's about the line dance.
No, I'm not being rude. I'm just making a point. Was everybody, with the music what was being played at Toronto at the weekend, was everybody line dancing?
That's nothing for me.
That's all.
That's minimal for
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm asking.
What we should do really, because Scoey's being rude, is we should have a Scoey against Richie Myler, and which one do the listeners want us to stand on? That's what we should do. Scoey or Myler, tell us and we'll do it. They're there.
No, you know exactly what's going to be happening. Don't we?
Just getting my size 10s ready.
these were expensive. These
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I would imagine it'd be 99.9%. I know who's going to get stood on. Myler.
Brian Carney's a star, by the way. He's brilliant on Sky. I know people were dismissive of the thing with Rimmer and what's he called? Elston on Thursday.
What's it called?
I forgot what he was called. These things change all the time. Well, I thought it was a good programme. They're not going to ask difficult questions. They can't ask difficult. It's the same with Backchat. No one. Rimmer's on there for an hour. Don't ask him a bloody question.
I don't know if you saw it though, but did you see? It was just a pathetic loving.
Yeah, but it's not going to be anything else, is it?
It was laughable.
Were it Scout and Sky?
Yeah, Rimmer and Elston there. You know, it was sickly and laughable.
Yeah. Mel said you should be on Sky, Scoey. Obviously a new weatherman, did it?
Sky News.
Bit harsh, boys. Bit harsh.
He's quite an outspoken on his politics. He's the legend.
Get him on there.
Yeah.
I think Brian Carney's a star.
I think Brian Carney's really good.
Brilliant.
I think, well, I won't go that far, but I think he's really good, yeah. No, I think Brian Carney's good, yeah. I think he speaks pretty fairly. He don't just talk about Wigan the way he used to play. I think he's added a lot of value to Sky, definitely.
Do you look at the Aussie coverage, and Gary mentions this a lot, you look at the players that are involved there,
yeah, that's
there's not so many former players here.
That's the biggest difference, is you want, no matter who you are, you want your Sculthorpes, you want your people like that on there, you want your Sinfields, you want the men commentating. I mean, you look at the calibre of players that are talking about the game and educating you. While you're watching the game, you're getting excitement, you're getting education, you're getting the stars giving their opinion who've actually been there, done it, and you need that more often. We definitely need that, and it's also another line of work for ex-players to stay within the game, involved, and we need to make sure we look after them avenues for players to stay involved in the game.
It was the anniversary this week, wasn't it, of Wide to West?
Oh yeah.
I played that game too.
It was.
We were tackling him as he scored. And then Sean Long tried to go and get Bernard's head and tried to kick the goal with Bernard's head on.
Do you know
what you were royally
do you know that penalty you give away?
No.
Well, no, who'll give it away, that penalty?
Sculthorpe.
Why did you just hold him? Hold him for another 3 seconds.
I know.
Why did you just let go?
Everybody talks about this wide to west, which I were on the receiving end. Well, it's all like the ones at Catalans that we scored in last second and kicked goal to win game. What about that one? That were a good one.
But that didn't get you to the grand final, though, did it?
Alright, okay. I just think from my point of view.
I know, mate. I know.
It hurts me. Wide to west kills me every time I see it.
It still pains me when I see Matthew Elliott just sliding off his chair.
Yeah, it's
Well, I can reassure you, as a Leeds man, 2 balls to my right hand side, it was lovely to watch.
I'll tell you what I will say.
It was lovely to watch.
Tell you what
The despair of you, Bradford fans, the despair of Matthew Elliott.
Are you a Leeds man then?
Of course I am.
What about Hull? How about
I'm a Leeds lad.
I don't like him.
How long do you play at Hull though?
4.5 years.
And I buy you an Hull fan.
Oh yeah, I'm a little fan. Yeah. Hell of a second team. Yeah.
Not Huddersfield though.
No, not Huddersfield.
Why
Listen to the commentary when you go on YouTube. Actually, listen to the coverage from Sky. I know they get hammered. It's just brilliant the way that they sum it up. Even now, listening to it now, it's just an amazing bit of TV. I thought so. They get.
It was an amazing try. I think that's got to be the best. I think that's got to be the best try in the Super League year, if I'm honest. It's got to be.
It was good. It was good. Yeah.
Great to see Liam.
He won.
He was as a Leeds fan.
It's just like you and Scully on the Tom Johnston try. Or just Scully shouting up and over.
Yeah, that's it.
So basically, where you hear that commentary these days. Anyway, Simon's got the international results for this weekend. Sweden 4, Netherlands 24. Bolton Mets played Brussels Gorillas and got beat 38-20. Well done, Brussels. Teams looking for a tour should look to Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, Czech Republic in the summer of 2019. So
there you go.
Book your tickets now.
Yeah.
Might be cheaper than going to Toronto. The Spanish national team have got some big names signed up for them as well for their upcoming games. I saw at the weekend. And of course, everyone's excited about the Catalans. Apart from the people moaning about the Catalans playing at the Camp Nou, and no one will go to watch. So well done. We've written it off before it's even happened. Well done, everyone in Rugby League. Yeah, well. Mark's worried about the Pyongyang pylons. They'll be back, Mark. Don't worry.
Yeah,
it's coming soon. Stop moaning about the audio on YouTube. We can't do anything about it.
Come on, we've got the mics working now. We've had him for 3 weeks.
That's
a great effort.
Step by step.
In about 8 years, the audio on YouTube will be alright. You download the podcast, that'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Or watch it on Facebook.
Watch it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Chris says he's glad that Leon is retired, as he got sick of watching him stroll under the post against us at Weldon Road for years.
Where did you enjoy playing most?
St Helens. Oh, what ground?
Yeah, when you were an away player, where did you like going?
Leeds anyway.
Yeah.
It was just the atmosphere, the Leeds fans when they get that trumpet going and the bumper. Special ground, Italy. Special ground.
Yeah. It's going to be impressive.
Even though it would always, well, it was probably more special because being a Bradford kid, I hated Leeds, so I always wanted to beat them. Saints, when I were at Saints, it was Saints Leeds. We were the two best teams, so we had a massive rivalry then. You know, I've got a lot of respect for Leeds and the stadium and how they developed it, but going there as a Bradford kid and beating Leeds on their home side was special.
Where did you not like going?
Oh God, there's some bad ones. Wakefield were bad. Castleford's bad, not for the ground, but for the changing rooms. I don't think the changing rooms are probably changed in about 100 years. So
I always remember that time Wigan turned up, fully kitted up on the bus.
Yeah, we played one game for Catalans at Castleford. And it was like February, so it was freezing. And after the game, the showers didn't get warm, so we had to go home, back to France, dirty in his play gear. This is only in 2014, so it's not like it.
Welcome to professional era Rugby League.
But that's what it is, isn't it?
Richard's pointed out.
Salford as well. Salford's old grounds. The Willows. The Willows. That old. That were the worst. Willows were the worst one.
What about you, Ledge? Where did you dislike going?
When I played for Leeds Boulevard. To be honest with you, but no, there weren't too many, mate. He mentioned Salford, but also too back in my day when we played at Central Park, Wigan. He mentioned being in the shower as well. Back in Central Park, everybody had to jump in the same bath. Yeah. Everybody had to jump in the same, and he's mentioned, well, going home full of mud. Well, we'd been in the bath, but we were even more dirty getting out of the bath because everybody. I can reassure you.
That though, 1960.
No, you know exactly. You know the 80s and early 90s, but up with the shore. And I say, didn't only there's some silly little things that went on while everybody was in that bath. I can reassure you, but you're even more dirty when you come out than when you got in it. But I just I say when I went back here to the Boulevard, that was very, very intimidating.
Oh, bad, yeah.
We might lose viewers now. People are hearing about Scully in the bath at Wigan. But Richard points out.
I could say the right story with Glyn Shaw Wade.
Don't bother.
Gary got stopped from a function at the World Cup because he was pressed. So I agree. Welsh should not comment on Cass. I don't think it's that bad. I think John.
And I don't think Scully got stuck because he was in the press. No. Is that right, Gary?
What's that, mate?
When you're in Australia, you were a member of the press, weren't you?
I wasn't a member of the press.
People are commenting on the standard of commentary and presentation, which is not something like Leon's avoiding questions. We're not going to talk about that. Because we can't.
Move on.
You know, we'd like and we don't like anyway. You can work that out easily. Don't disrespect our sheds, says Craig. I don't know who he's
got to be.
Cass or Waker.
Yeah. Went to Garforth Academy, so probably Cass. Everyone else who's on the show tonight should not be giving their opinion because they've all got an affiliation to a club. Yeah, but not officially though.
Yeah.
That's true.
On what?
Nah, don't matter. It's all
right,
yeah. Because we support Bradford. We should.
Yeah, we're all supporters and fans of clubs. You know, that's what we are.
Yeah. We make no, but we'll make no apologies. We're all open who we support. We all love it when Leeds lose, don't we, Rich?
Hold on.
I used to, as a player, I used to love it more. I must admit, I must have got a little bit more sensible in my age now.
What happened to him?
What I mean, could you imagine if Leeds went down? Could you imagine if Leeds went into the Championship?
Well, I'd probably get hospitalised. I'd be laughing that much.
You know what I mean? But it's
look at his face.
But I mean, for the greater good of the game, though. I mean, they probably what 17,000 every week. Yeah. You know, and the game can't afford that at the moment, regardless if we don't like him or not.
No, I know
it won't, but there were a possibility. I'm just saying. At one time, it'd be like that. Please go down. But I've got a little bit wiser now. And I know the game needs Leeds, a good Leeds side in the Super League.
And now that there's a life salary cap, they can't cheat it like other clubs did in the past to avoid relegation.
Alright, move on.
Mention no clubs.
Move on. We haven't even talked about Super League.
Nothing happened.
Games. So you want to make a point about Hull?
Hull. 10 in a row. 10 defeats in a row now for Hull.
Yeah.
I don't want to... I'm not saying Lee Bradford should get sacked, by the way, when I ask this question. I'm just asking a question generally. But... coaches have been sacked for far less losing.
He's got money in the bank.
So what he's trying to say, he should be sacked.
He's got money in the bank.
He doesn't, but no one seems to be saying...
Because of the scenario, because of the situation, he's got 10, 11 injuries. I mean, you look at Leeds this season have struggled with injuries. They struggled at the start of the season very, very badly with injuries. They've ended up in the bottom qualifiers. The whole of a quarter way of the season gained the same amount of injuries, and they've ended up at least safe in Super League. So realistically, yeah, it's not been good enough. Radders knows that, but it's a lot of it's down to the injuries that they've had. They've not had the 6 and 7 played together. I think they played together twice this season. In them 2 games they won. They've both been sat in the sheds in the stands most of the season. Albert Kelly's their X Factor player. He's been in the stands all season. The chairman knows the situation scenario. It's not been good enough. He'll clear out the ones that are not good enough, and he'll bring in some different players. But that doesn't mean that Radders under pressure. Getting to Wembley 2 years on bounce, being consistently around about the top 4, gives you enough money in the bank to try and at least get yourself out of it to the start of next season. Halfway through
at least the fans aren't on his back like they were with Kieran Cunningham, aren't they? Because that's what happened. That was the real issue at Saints, wasn't it? With Cunningham, is the fans just decided that was it.
They could have done with a win, couldn't they, against the Dragons?
Oh, yeah, without it. There's no two ways about it. And if I'm honest with you, from there, what Leon's saying, at the time they don't buy into the injury scenarios because they've still got enough quality to be performing better than what they are performing. Going to Warrington, how they did the play just give in and put the queue on the rack. And now this weekend they go to Wigan for the last game of the season, and I would imagine there won't be too many black and white fans travelling over the Pennines to go watch that. So we'll be the show. Lee Radford nowhere near for me. We'll be looking at getting the bullet. He's not to blame for the way the players are performing. He's preparing them all through the week. He wants the right attitude from there. They should have got the win against Catalans, but the Catalans themselves, the attitude what they got, they wanted to make sure they finish on a little bit of a high as well. With maybe 2 wins for the last 2 games, but Hull, for me, it's not the coach. It's been the players. It's the players themselves. I tell you what, they'll be showing at the Monday Club on Monday as well. I would imagine they'll be playing on social media as well there, with their celebrations. Nothing to do with the coach. It's been the players' attitude, and they've just put the queue on the rack and they've been ready for the sun for the last 6 weeks.
It's very, very, very difficult. Winning's an habit and losing's an habit.
But there's a way about losing, not Leons.
I agree with you. I'll tell you that the performance away at Warrington were unacceptable, and all players know that. But I've been there for 3 years, and I've seen the difference from the first year I got there to when I left, and the transformation between the really professional, even players like Mark Minicello, Danny Houghton, players like that, Gareth Ellis when they were there. It's a very, very.
Are they not past the sell-by date? Houghton, Minicello, Sikimano.
I'll let you guys discuss that. I'd never say that ever.
Well, I'll jump in. brave move to let Watts go. Are they maybe paying? Have they paid a little bit more price for that than he would have hoped?
100% yes. 100% yes. He's the way the whole play is when they make a shift and the player that comes back to the middle is always off the forward. Liam Watts was a 60-minute player, 70-minute player, tough, takes you 100-150 metres a game, passes the ball, is fit, and his discipline problems with Radders, their relationship kind of broke down, but in the long run it has massively cost LFC, massively, because he was, if not their linchpin player behind Danny Allen.
We said at the time it was a gamble.
It's not paid off.
It's not paid off, and to be fair, he's going well at Cass, isn't he?
He's outstanding. He's an outstanding player, and I say, as Leon mentioned, and we all know in the game, you know, the relationship between the coach and the player has broken down. So one thing for sure, something had to happen. And one thing, it wasn't Radders who was going to believe in the black and white. The player had to leave himself.
They always gone really, really well. They get on well now. It was just, I think, the discipline problems on the field and a little bit off the
field. I would imagine the senior, because they call it now the senior group, they wouldn't have been happy about that. He's no good in the dressing room from there, so something had to happen. Watts had to leave, but one thing for sure, Cass have got a quality player. He's doing the business at Castleford, and who knows, his old man keeps right in the league express. He might get what he wants.
An England call.
He might get Watts here, an England call up.
Well, to be fair, Powell said the other week, the only reason he apparently won't get in with his discipline and his issues, he said he's having no problem with it.
See, we're sorting him out. He's a quality front rower. He's a front rower who likes to play with the ball. He can see a pass. He can put a pass. He's tough as well. Likes to do the hard yard. So again, at international level, we don't struggle at prop forwards from there when you look at them. But one thing for sure, Leon Watts would look out of place in an England jersey.
Without doubt, he just needs a chance. One thing we've not talked about that I should bring up as well for me, which is the biggest story this week. Have we talked about York winning it?
We kicked off the show. No, we mentioned it, but we didn't go into detail. I'd feel quite proud that we had James Ford 2-3 years ago on our show.
When they got in the League One final.
He came on. He was great. You could see then, Scott, he was gonna. He knew what he was about. He knew where he was going with it. He's been supported off the field, and he's produced the goods on it. It is a tremendous achievement, and I think John Kay said the other day, if you'd have said we'd have lost 3 games, I would have said we'd have won the league hands down. They haven't done, have they?
He's doing a great job. He's forwarding also as well. He plays the game in the right way, and again, the players like to play for him. He likes to express himself, but as well, they're tough. They know how to play a little bit tough when it's required. They're good and disciplined from there. And I'm going to make a prediction here now. The way that he plays the game, and the respect what he's getting from there. When Darryl Powell decides to move on from Cass, James Ford would be the next Castleford coach, without a shadow of a doubt.
You know why that leads? Because you pick.
It's not like you to move coaches.
Well, we're going for Australia, aren't we? But Darryl Powell, every coach has got his own destiny and own time from there. Darryl Powell will be moving to the England job when Wayne Bennett decides to, when he decides to give it up from there.
Though? Well, do you think Powell will go? Would he leave a full-time job that you coach your players every single day to just go for a job where you coach them?
Well, what I'm saying is he might get a job somewhere else, because players only, you said you get players, you said players get fed up with your voice and all this sort of thing, but we'll be the short Powell, whatever, but he'll be the next England coach from there. But I will tell you now, James Ford will be the next Castleford coach, without a doubt.
That was a good call.
Bad news, Robert's gone to watch Speedway. Cheers,
what do you make of York then and the joy? Everyone thought the Bulls would, they recruited well.
Well, obviously it was my team that beat the Bulls to get York promoted.
It was. Did they buy you a glass for?
Yeah, they should do. I need a Ford, send me a present, please. No, we played all the teams this year in League One, and in my opinion, York were by far the best team. By far, with the pumped us by 40 points at their place first game of the season. We only just lost at our place, but they seem structured, they seem organised, well coached. I speak to Fordy a lot. They seem like the training facilities. They've got a 3G field, they've got a video room, they've got a state-of-the-art gym. We're building a new stadium. They're in a progression. They've progressed over the last 2 or 3 seasons now to a point where they've signed James on a 3-year deal, so they've got stability. They've got good ex-Super League players in Cocaine and people, and Graham Horn, a few old car players. They'll lose Bachelor to St Helens next year, but everything that they're doing seems right, and the crowds have gradually got bigger from 600 up to 12, 13, 14. I think there were 3,000 this weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm really pleased for York. I think it's a story that's positive, and we should talk more about positive things and always hammering on about negative things.
Graham's asked Scurry, because he's seen plenty of League One action this year. Who's going up with York?
Well, when you look at the sides that are in there, the pressure's on the Bulls, isn't it?
Yeah.
The pressure is how they handle the pressure, you know, because...
they play Oldham on Sunday.
Well, I tell you what, Oldham are no easy meets. I tell you what, Oldham likes to get ripped in. He's another coach, Scott Naylor. He likes to get the best out of his players, and he does. And at times, you know, they play the old-fashioned Bradford Bulls, where tight around the ruck area and just run hard and straight and direct. So Naylor himself, an ex-Bulls player, he turned him over as well. So I tell you what, don't rule that out that it could happen. You know, and I hope it does, because we'll have a great show next Monday night. And I hope the Bulls do get beat from there, and then Workington, you know, they've got Doncaster. So, but what Leon will know, and it's what I've known watching the League One this year with Keith and all the signs. He'll tell you, if you don't bring your A game, you'll get turned over.
100%.
You'll get turned over, and that's where. But the Bulls now, it's a different sort of pressure. Can them players handle that pressure? That's
an interesting point. You've got to go to Doncaster. It's not an easy place to go.
Well, the one thing I will say about, I'll touch on what Scott was saying. Ourselves, Bradford, Doncaster, and Oldham can all beat each other, and that's what I'm saying. If you don't turn up, you know, it's not a definite. I mean, we beat Doncaster this season already. Oldham only just lost to Bulls last week at home, so. It's not a definite. You'd have to say Bradford are favourites to go up. You've got to say Bradford are favourites to go up. So then you're talking about us and Doncaster second. Bradford are favourites definitely to go up with the.
If you win though this weekend, you've got 2 bites.
That's it.
You're playing the final. If you lose,
this is our final this week.
You then play either Swinton or Rochdale, who won this week. If they win again next week,
for me, this weekend is our final. This is, if we win this game this weekend, we then get 2 bites of the cherry. That's massive.
What's it like coaching wise?
I'm just going to say it out, you know. So your coaching philosophy this week, then. Yeah, there's a bit of press on, but are you going through? Well, we'll just relax, lads. It's going to be a nice, steady week, or is it going, are you going to change anything what you normally do?
I've made sure. Tomorrow night we've got the full squad there. We've got all the travellers coming up. Same on Thursday. Saturday night we're going to go to a hotel in Doncaster to make sure we cut the travel out of it. But I won't put the players under any pressure, more pressure than what we're already under. We know that we're good enough, so I'm not lying to them. I'm not having to tell them something fake. I'm not trying to say, listen, we can beat them, guys, believe in yourselves. Lads, we've beaten them already. We only just lost this weekend. Let's just get ready for a tough game. We've won tough games all year. We can do it. We're just going to have to play well.
Obviously hoping that you get to the point of being in the championship before that, but what does happen if you are in that game, the extra game?
I don't know. I honestly sat here now on my life, do not know. I'm going to lose 3 or 4 players. I've already had 2 players. I've had 1 broke his hand. I've had 1 done his elbow. So I mean, I've lost 2 or 3 already. If I lose over 3, I might not be able to get a squad. That's fact.
Well, the A-team's here. The A-team's here. Did you see Mark Wilson? Then he breathed in. He started breathing in.
It's going to give you 20 minutes.
And one thing for sure, the main man Catalan. Hey, listen, I don't know if you've seen the picture of Phil, but when you see the picture with a rugby ball in his hand and that knee bandage, when that knee bandage is on for Catalan,
he could do one of them. He's got a bad knee.
When that knee bandage is on for Catalan, you know he's going to go to work. You know he can handle the pressure, and he's a game winner. He's a game breaker. He's Phil Catalan.
Here's the obvious question, then, Leon. Are you still registered? Can you register in time?
No, you can't. I couldn't register now. No, you got to be before the playoffs, and it got to be like 4 weeks ago. You lost registers, and even if I did, honestly, I couldn't do it. You've said I'm.
We saw you. Well, not only that, but we saw you fall over, didn't we? On the
I need a knee replacement.
Your knee gave way, didn't it, on the sideline?
Well, Danny Parkinson, is a fine man, and we're all very proud of him. He says, "Great to see you on the show tonight, lads. As a Bradford lad and legend, what was it like to go back to Bradford before they went under? Obviously, having the fact that you were there when they were good, and then you were there in less good times.
So what was it like
going back when it
was bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, disappointing. It's disappointing. I think. I grew up in the Super League era, so '96. I was a fan. I was a fan since I was 8. The ball boy since I was 10, 11, and I made my debut at 16. So I've seen Bradford Northern, 4,000 fans, 2,000 fans, to Bradford Bulls, the Bull Mania, Super League summer era, 96, 95, 96. So I've seen the Razzmatazz, I've seen the 19, 20,000, and then I've seen it go back to where it is today. So very disappointing, but this year I've seen a change when we went back there. You see there's a lot more positivity. There's a settled board. They've had some good wins. They've consistently won in this league, and you can see being in Championship, it seems a lot more positive now than it was for the last 2 years.
Nigel's asked, if you get promotion beating Bradford in the final, will your postman ever talk to you again?
No, he won't. No, he didn't text me for 2 weeks. After we beat Bulls at Bulls, he didn't speak to me for 2 weeks, and I said to him, he's speaking to me yet? Anyway, he looked at me like, yeah, of course I am. I thought, you haven't been.
Very good, very good. Well, it's that win that got you in the playoffs, or those 2 wins got you in the playoffs and have stopped them going up, so we'll be blaming him next week. We will see. Any more for any more?
Well, lots of people talking about have Canada got an international team, which they've had one for years. So I don't know why they're talking.
Okay.
Because the international qualifiers are coming up. They take on the USA, Jamaica and Chile. So
very good.
There's now Chile are the new...
Let's talk Super League then, if there's nothing else happening on there. We know the semi-finals now. Saints home to Wolves, Wigan Cass. One cracker. I think we all expect St Helens to beat Warrington. Is that what you're going?
I think you do. Yeah, after what you saw on the weekend, I just don't think they've got enough. Warrington, I think. Yeah, the forwards are right, but I think.
Do they lack that belief? I said this a few weeks ago on this show. They lost to Wigan by a point in a game they should have won. Roberts missed that drop goal and missed a couple of awful efforts at the end. They went and lost. They lost to Saints after the hooter. They lost to Cass. They lost at the cup final. They've lost a lot of big games this year.
Do you know what this might sound a little bit daft, but
well, hold on, you're saying it, so we always take that into account.
No, well, this might sound a little bit daft, right? But you mentioned the pressure games. You mentioned that game against Wigan, and then they lost that game against St Helens, and they lost the Challenge Cup final. I don't know if Warrington know what sort of game plan they have to play in the pressure games. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, because that's what point I'm trying to make.
Because when you look, say for instance, you look to the Challenge Cup final, it took Darryl Clark 52 minutes to run from dummy half, and the way that they played, the kicking game was off. And then all of a sudden, they thought, oh well, what, have we got a plan B? Do we need to change things? So my question is for Warrington is, do they know what sort of game plan they're going to go with and stick with to try and be the opposition? I don't think they've got it, Mark. No, I don't.
Leon, what do you make of Warrington, and have they got a chance of winning at Saints?
Yeah, of course they've got a chance, yeah. I mean, just because you lose 1 week, it changes. The game this week will be totally different. It'll be higher tempo, it'll be higher pressure. Warrington will come out, you're 1 game away from grand final, you're 1 game away from the biggest game of the year. They can do it. The biggest key for me in that game is the forward battle, I think. When Catalans beat St Helens in a semi-final, I think that kind of showed everybody how to beat St Helens, because they were pretty formidable up to them, weren't they? They took them up the middle on the forwards, they went straight at the pack. Mickey McLaurin, they went straight at the middle. And Wigan did the same, and I've seen a little bit of a change in Saints' pack in the Warrington game. They went after him. I think they wanted to prove that they can withstand the pressure up the middle. The only difference is really is the backline flow and the structure that Saints play looks so much more fluid, and you've got Percival, you've got Johnny Lomax, you've got Barber out the back who's come back in a good form. Their cutting edge players are on form, whereas you'd say Warrington's are probably a little bit, not as in a flowing structured form as the Saints half-backs and outside backs.
Fair enough. What about the other game then? I mean, this is the one I think, and this is no disrespect to Saints or Warren. If Wigan Cass had been in the grand final, we'd all be going to Old Trafford rubbing our hands saying this is going to be a belter.
Yeah.
Who's going to win it?
Well, people might say, well, two different sides altogether, the way they both play, but the way that Wigan have played for the last, I think you'd say now.
Has any team ever won all 7 games in the Super 8s? Because if they win this weekend, they will do. They'll go through the 8s unbeaten. That is some effort, isn't it?
But I think since Wigan, they went through that 4-game spell when it was decided that Wayne were leaving and Tompkins were leaving and somebody else were leaving from there. They went through that 4-week spell, but a little bit indifferent. But I think for the last 8 to 10 weeks, Wigan have been simply outstanding. Not just defensive wise, not just forwards getting ripped in, but the attractiveness of where they're playing. And
do you think? I think they can. I think there's a couple more gears left. I watched them the other night and I thought they're going out of second gear.
I was just going to say that to you, and as well, everybody looks comfortable the way that they're doing. And what I'm seeing from Wigan, you just said there's a couple more gears. They are not ripping in just as yet. They are not ripping in from there. But the most important factor for Wigan is simple: the big game players are playing absolutely to their form, getting into the business end of the season, which it's next week, the qualifier for the grand final. But you will look at the way, look what he brings. Williams is back to his best. Bateman's just a freak. The wingers themselves, Tompkins at full-back, you know, everybody, not just contributing individually in their own ability, but as a team collectively, I tell you what, boy oh boy, they are playing sensational.
Scarry's playing good as well.
But then you look at Castleford, I'm reading what Roberts has been saying there, he says, yeah, we know exactly what went wrong last year, we've learned from that, we know exactly the business end of the season here now, and Castleford, they know themselves they're going to have to muscle up, as the saying is from there, and get ripped in, because that's what we're going to be doing. Castleford will be up for that challenge. I just wish this was going to be the fixture on 30th of October.
I think you talked about then about Wigan winning 7 games, and has anybody done it? Well, in 2005 we won 12 on the bounce to win the grand final. In that year we started very poorly, a little bit similar to Wigan, not well, I don't know if Wigan started poorly, but in that season we had 5 players, myself, Jen Peacock, Robbie Paul, Stuart Raiden, Rob Parker, Lee Radford, all leaving the club. Once we got our futures sorted out and we all came together and said, listen, let's do this for each other. Let's do this. Is our last time that we're going to be together. Let's do this. We can do it. Once we got all the contracts sorted out, I will go to Saintship, who go to Leeds, we then go to Warrington, Rob will go to Huddersfield. We all come together and said, listen, let's do it for each other. And, you know, gradually got better. We know at Wigan, Sean Wayne's going, who's a massive influence around that club. Sam Tompkins, who's the biggest legend since, I don't know, Andy Farrell or something like that. If they've come together, which it seems like they have, they've got something that nobody else has got, which is an extra determination to win it for each other, who's all departing Wigan born and bred people leaving their club, and I think that could give them the edge.
Yeah, but also as well, do you not think Castleford, they're saying, I'll tell you what, yeah, they've got all the players leaving, they want to do it for A, B, C and D. Castleford was saying, we know exactly what we didn't do last year, we're going to rectify that as well. So that's their motivation.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Matt, but you hit the nail on the head. Wigan's players have been there, done that, won it. They've won Challenge Cups, not got to the final, they've won them. And getting to the final and winning it is 2 different things. It's alright getting to a final, it's winning it. I've been to loads of them, we got pumped by the Leeds lot of pumped us 4 or 5 times. To actually win that big game is so hard, and Wigan have won Super League after Super League and Challenge Cup after Challenge Cup, and they have that experience counts for a hell of a lot, and you've seen it last year in last year's grand final.
Thanks for reminding me about not winning final. Doesn't it win it?
Castle also say though they haven't been anywhere near their full strength.
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
And they've had players out. One worry, I saw Shenton go off. I don't know what the diagnosis is. Shenton got a knee problem. I just saw the look he gave the physio. I thought that looked to be a look that goes, I've got a problem there. But hopefully they'll be fit. But we talked about Gale coming back, Truman. They've got match winners as well.
Without doubt. There's no 2 ways about it. One thing for sure, Castleford, they know that they've known now for the last couple of weeks they're going to need DW. They're preparing for that. Well, they've got they've got Saints this week, don't they? You know, so nobody cares less about that, do they?
Well, I've asked you about this.
It's all about the week.
What does Darryl Powell do this week? What does he do?
I would rest my best players.
You would rest, but I asked you that as a player. You said you.
I know, individually. As a coach, I'd say, you know, Truey, do you want to rest? Yeah, I want to rest. You're not playing. Gailey, do you want to rest? You're not playing. Shenny, do you need to rest? And you feel okay? What would you rather do? I want to play. You're playing, no problem. I'll probably bring you off after 60. See how we're going. 50, might bring you off at half time. McShane, probably most influential player. Do you want to play? Michael, do you want to play? No, I don't want to play. You're not playing. And that's what Daniel Anderson did with us. Most of the time he'd play us and he brings off after 40-50 minutes if they're playing alright. You don't want to risk a ban, you don't want to risk an injury. You're in good enough form to be able to give them breathers. It's all about man management and what you want out of the game. They're playing good enough to rest their best players when needs be.
Tell you what, am I going to call up by Castle? Am I going to call up?
There's no Michael Shenton news on the Castle Tigers website, so that's probably a positive. But you can buy Yorkshire Carnegie shirts from there now.
Alright, okay.
That'll be good for the fair
podcast. What did you make of Darryl Powell's comments of the day? He wants to win the final just so he can stop seeing himself looking at on the Sky advert when he's like, oh God. He just says I want to get rid of that. I thought that was quite good. I mean, it must remind him every day.
There's nothing worse than getting to a grand final and losing. It sticks with you. It's a worse memory. It's the memory that sticks with you more than winning it is how you feel when you lose. The dejection, it sits with you every single day, and you get that win, it will erase it for him. So I can know exactly where it's coming from as a player.
Tell you what, the way they performed last year, we know how Leeds play, but Castleford know themselves. what to do now. They know from a point of view, Pepper. We know all the rubbish, you know, the Zach Harder situation, all this sort of thing. Even if Zach Harder would have played last year, Leeds still would have beaten because the way they played their management, they would have played.
Look, I said,
it's a tainted.
Wait, I said,
rubbish, absolute rubbish, Mark Wilson. Take that back, Mark Wilson. Take that back.
Grand finals are won on defence. Now, Castleford had the best attack last year by far, but for me, and I played in 9 grand finals. I think I played in. When you play in a grand final, if you get 2 points in the first 5 minutes in front of the sticks, you take the 2 points. You take the 2 points, you come back, you get back into the grind, and if you get another 2 points, you take the 2 points again. Grand finals, 2 points are more like 4. And in high pressure games where the teams can defend the line very, very well, you take them 2 points and you build. As soon as I seen them take that quick tap, I thought, this is not what you do in grand finals. You pop the 2 over, you go again. You play on for 10, 15 minutes, whatever, you get another penalty, pop it over, take your 2 points, get in the grind and make sure you defend well. The best attacking team, which we were at Saints, don't always win. Leeds, when we played against them in all the grand finals that we lost, used to get it, sit in, get it, kick it long, the ball would roll out dead, they'd line up on 20, restart controlled, up the middle, and they just played it tight. And that's how you win grand finals.
That's why Hemel Snipes went for the drop goal yesterday. They knew how important it was.
I think it's
to get a point on the ball.
Somebody had some money on that book, is that?
I'm
joking.
Sadly, we did.
But also as well, when you look at last year's grand final, Leeds knew they was going to win that grand final. He mentioned about them not going for the 2 points.
I think it's a big thing. I think it's a big factor.
But they knew they was winning that grand final when Max Shane tried to pick the ball up one handed and knocked it on. You could see the Leeds players go, yeah, we've got you here now. Casper played with them. And then how many times?
I'm just going to turn it off.
How many, you know, the big game plays, you know, the drop balls, the Milners did it, the Millingtons did it, the Roberts did it from there. It was quite simple. They've learned, they didn't handle that extra, they didn't handle that extra pressure. So, you know, for what Castleford did all for last year, they know they've learned. The business end of the season.
They're different this year.
They'll be they'll be getting ripped in, so they will not be intimidated by going to the.
No. And the thing is, last year Castleford were the best team. Fact. I know that Leeds won it, but Castleford were the best team last year.
Can you just repeat that?
The Castleford were the best team.
No, can you remember Leeds? Who won it last year?
No, one second. They won it by 10 points, so consistently they were the best team. But in that grand final night, you know, it's things like playing the expansive rugby can get you done. They'll be a totally different team. They'll have that big game experience, that real big game experience, and I think they'll be so much better for this year. And they are genuine Super League contenders to actually win it on the night now.
Good stuff. And a lot of people getting in touch about this game.
Andrew James et al. Have said Shenton out for Friday. The Dow Powell says he will be okay for the semi-final.
What's he done?
Did he got a bang on his knee. It looked really innocuous, but when he was sat down, the camera, he was right on the touchline, the camera was right there, and he looked up at the physio as if to say, I'm in trouble. That was my interpretation. You know, I mean, I know Michael, he's done a lot of work with us, and I sat and I thought, I think that might be him done. He's just got that feeling. Oh, I hope I'm wrong. Touch what I'm wrong.
I hope not. I would like him to play.
Yeah. Teammate yours, wasn't he?
Well, travel, buddy.
Mark says then, having fallen to the pressure last year or whatever else caused them to lose that final, why will they be able to handle it this year?
Can I make a point? We spoke to a lot. We spoke to a lot of the lads after. They all said when they came out at Old Trafford, it wasn't what they thought it was going to be. It was like an anticlimax when they got there. I think they're expecting it to be something it wasn't, and I think now they've been there. I think that's. I think they were more. Well, obviously they were more bothered about the occasion, but I do wonder if the occasion.
Just the fact that you're even saying that alone is on their mind. That when they walked out, the reaction was on their mind. Yeah. When you've been there, the reaction is not even on your mind.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
When you first play in the big games, you notice everything. You know, the people around. When you're in the zone and you've been there, when you walk out, you don't even hear it. You know, it's all you're thinking about kick-off. But you can only get that from experience. Yeah. Now they've experienced it.
Yeah, I do think that. I remember a couple of lads.
So what did they expect?
I don't know, but they more
than don't know
3 or 4 of them just said we went out. And I don't know. Just the whole night just didn't feel right.
Yeah, until you've been in one, you don't know. No. So you just don't know.
No.
So you're making it up in your own brain.
Yeah, exactly. What you think it's going to be like. Whereas they know now what it's going to sound like, what it's going to look like. Yeah.
Good news from Widnes today that Morgan Escaré staying this year.
All right, okay.
Good player. Been good for Wigan, been a big good signing for him with Sam having his problems with his knee and making sure that when Sam were out he had to come in, and he's not just come in, he's come in and played really well.
Is Tompkins a better player now than he was when he left Wigan? He's a different player.
He's not as... listen, Tom Tompkins for me is the best player I've played against in Super League, the most dangerous player. When he left he was so explosive and he was untouchable. His knee, I think his knee's probably slowed him down a touch, but I think this year he's found his form again.
Colin says Cas boys were throwing up during the warm-up due to nerves last year. I didn't notice that. Gary says arguably this year's Cas team has more grand final experience than the Wigan squad.
Possibly.
They don't meet each other in the final, which is a shame.
Winning a grand final or beating a grand final?
Well, I guess beating in one, yeah.
Well, a lot of inexperience. A lot of young Wigan players would have been there.
Who? Williams?
I don't know. You've
Tompkins, Argenson's won one, Bateman's won one.
Yeah.
Luluai's won one. Laughlin's won about 10. Club.
There's a chance, of course. There's a chance, of course, that on the Saturday of the grand final we could have the same game twice, because the final four of the Women's Super League has been confirmed, much like the men's, weeks before it finishes. Leeds though are in this one, because as we know this year, and congratulations to Leeds wheelchair team. So earlier.
Did you see the celebration? That was too violent for me.
Well,
have you not seen it? Yeah, it's like what the hell? I mean, did you see the one on Twitter when he went cartwheeling out of his wheelchair and took it down? Jeez, no, not for me. No. Absolute lack of respect for themselves.
Leeds men, rubbish. Leeds Academy in the grand final against Wigan this week. Leeds women probably going to win. Maybe, and Leeds wheelchair already won. Leeds Saints, Wigan and Cas are in the semi-finals, and of course two will meet at the Etihad on the Saturday in the lunchtime before the grand final in the evening. So busy day of rugby in Manchester on the 13th of October, and hopefully Wakefield are in the Championship grand final as well. And Widnes women who have had to do it hard this year, they won another game this week, and so well done to them.
Fair play, yeah. Fair play. We've been fans of the game. People know that. The women's game, indeed. Man of Steel. We're nearly at that time.
Yes.
I put a few tweets out earlier on, and we've had quite a bit of response back from them. I'll give you 3 votes, Ledge, or 3 picks now. Who are the 3 that you would be nominating for your Man of Steel?
Barber, Bateman, and Tupu. They're my 3 players.
Quite straightforward then. No Paul McShane?
No, they're my 3 players.
What about you?
I've not seen enough of Tupu play, so I've not watched enough Wakefield games, but Roby, Barber and Bateman for me.
Rich? Interestingly, I don't have a vote on Man of Steel, obviously, because I'm not a player, but I've got a vote on the Rugby League Writers and Broadcasters Player of the Year, and I need to get my vote in at the end of this week. And I was thinking, I'm going to vote for Bill Tupu, but if I vote for him, will people accuse me of being biased for voting for him?
He's been outstanding, hasn't he? We don't have... Centres are a weak part of the... If we look at it, we've got wingers by the dozen, hookers by the dozen.
Who were last centre to win it? 2005.
So that'll be you.
No.
Come on.
I thought it was going to be a trick question.
2005.
What Lion, wasn't it?
Yeah. Got it. Well, I've got that.
Yeah. I was thinking because you won it all. So who would you have, your man? McShane, Bateman. I think if Bateman is not in the final 3, it's an outright. I watch John Bateman play every week, and I'm amazed at how he plays. How do you think he'd get on in the NRL, by the way? Because we always talk about players' size.
He'll kill it. He'll kill it. He's got it. I know. He's got that. He's got the mentality. He's got that strength that just comes from nowhere. He'll kill it 100% without a shadow of a doubt. And he's a Bradford kid, so go on, John. Go on,
he is, yeah. So Bateman would have to be in there. I don't know about Barber. Great for half a season, and I mean great.
Untouchable for half a season.
And then went off a bit, and now seems to be coming back again. So he might leave on a high.
You can't forget what he did at the start of the season, though, can you? Just because you say he's gone off a little bit, you can't. He was unbelievable. Season, he was Man of Steel, wasn't he? He was champion already. Roby. No.
Well, because and we said this before this show. Roby's that good, you forget how good he is. Yeah, because if he's not a 9, it's very rare he's not a 9. So you don't even
Yeah,
you only notice it if he had
very rare. It's
pole
not
game.
9. He's got to be up there.
Or he's dropped it. You go, well, it's dropped it. I didn't normally do that, but no, interesting. It's going to be what people say.
It's not one where there's a
clear winner.
Yeah, there's I'd probably say there's half a dozen. You'd say if they were in it, you'd go, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
That's fun.
Andy's gone for McShane, Ronnie's gone for McShane, Karen going for James Roby. She's a Hull fan because she said Leon should shut me up earlier on. I was already got Hull. I wasn't here. Craig says McShane. Mark and Andy have gone for John Bateman. John's gone for McShane as well. So it's good to have an award where
it's wide open.
Yeah.
You've probably got 5 players that you'd say McShane's gets some good votes, Roby's up there, Barber's up there, Tupu's up there, Bateman's up there, so you've got 5 6 players that you'd say fair enough if they won.
Mark's asked the important question: is he popular with other players who are the voters? I don't know if that's Bateman who his pick was.
That's a lot to do with it.
Yeah,
that's everything to do.
That's why Kevin Seafield never won it.
I don't think he's liked.
Sorry?
So people don't dislike, innit? People hate me far more than they hate.
No, I'll tell you, that's why Kevin Seafield didn't win the Man of the Match.
What was the
players didn't like it.
What was the procedure when you
players?
Well, how many players pick it, Leon? They all pick it, don't they? Super.
I didn't think so.
Mark my words. Mark my words.
Dave Taylor won it for Bo Falloon. Yeah. Can't trust the players. When you won it, Scotty, who
did you get Man of Steel score?
Yeah, Nancy won, yeah. Yeah, they had a panel of 3 people picked it. Yeah.
Oh, so it wasn't you. It wasn't decided by your fellow pros.
Did you get Golden Boot?
Yeah.
Did you?
Get that picture of him.
Good score.
Get that picture.
Before that picture of Man of Steel.
Before we do the predictions,
did you get Golden Boot?
Yeah, Nancy, yeah.
Best played well.
Yeah.
He's got it on. He has it on his mantelpiece.
Does it? I bet
yeah,
he does. No, he does. Got a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people say I didn't win. No, I won the Man of Steel. I won the Golden Boot. I've got an OBE, so not bad to be honest with you. Not bad, is it? Not bad, I guess.
Not bad at all.
Yorkshire Cup.
Not bad. Yorkshire Cup.
Did you get a cheque for Golden Boot?
No. It's just the prestige, isn't it?
Pot of the honour. I didn't know you got Golden Boot.
Oh yeah,
that's big.
Yeah, we try not to mention it.
No, I like it.
We prefer to pick on the bad stuff.
It's like concern. I've searched for Gary Schofield, Man of Steel, and the 4th picture is Scott Taylor.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is with the guitar. I think he was at Country Day at Toronto.
Right, go on then. We'll start with the predictions while we're digging it out.
On a Shield Rugby League scarf. Scotty's smiling there thinking, yeah, I'm happy, man.
Yeah, Doug Lawton's got rid of me at Leeds. Salford to lose, legend. By the way, another 7 out of 8 haul for you, so I do give you stick, but that's 2 weeks. He's had 2 good weeks out of 30.
3 good weeks.
3 good weeks out of 30.
Yeah, 100% and then 98% now for the last 2 weeks. Yeah.
98%.
I know what I'm talking about sometimes, I know what I'm talking about sometimes. But Salford to lose, yeah, it's an interesting one, but Hastings is back, as he saw. He's gonna be the carbon influence. He'll be the organiser, so it'll be an interesting one. Pressure's on Salford, but I'll go Salford by 10. But I think it's going to be a very, very entertaining game.
Leon,
Salford by 4. I was going to give you one answer.
I just searched Gary Schofield glasses and it came up. Salford.
Show him.
I'm gonna do what it lets me.
Yeah, I think Salford will just have too much. Saints Cass.
Well, it's enough a game. They both know exactly what's going to be happening the week after. So maybe a game of touch and pass. I won't be getting ripped in, but I'll just go Saints. I'll go Saints by 8.
Saints by 8. Leon, if you won Man of Steel, would you turn up with him?
Oh, go on, Scoy. Porn star.
I still am. But anyway, you know what, I'm still looking for that line optician. I can reassure you. He told me, you talk about the dressing room. The optician told me they were in fast. It cost me 40 quid, by the way, $9.91. When I walked in the dressing room with them on, they all lads went, "What the hell?" And they started laughing. I went, "What are you laughing at?" What they're laughing at? They went, "Well, what do you mean what we're laughing at?" I says, "Hold on, I've been in the opticians, I'm short-sighted, I've got to wear glasses." It says, "Not automatically you have to wear glasses." Look at the stadium. I've got the nickname Deirdre Barlow. What a shocker. What a shocker.
What do you say? Saints by
8.
Yeah.
Someone will now mock
I'll go Saints.
Deirdre Barlow.
By 4.
Rich?
Saints.
Yeah, full house.
Who cares?
Wakefield, Warrington.
Yeah, again, it's an interesting one. But Wakefield, they want to make sure they get 5th spot. A nice little pay jack as well, finishing 5th. So Warrington, they'll have the mind on the week after. So I'm going Wakefield. I'm going Wakefield by 10.
I agree, Wakey by... Yeah, Wakey.
Alright, Rich.
Last game of the 2002 season, Wakefield battered Warrington to stay in the competition. Look where they've gone since then. Wakefield.
I'm going Warrington. Wigan how many?
Yeah, Wigan. Well, when his last game in charge, well, no, the week after. But yeah, I'm going Wigan to batter a rubbish Hull side. I'm going 42 points.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like to say it because I'm an old fan, but yeah, Wigan by 30.
Rich?
38. I thought it was just a random number.
Yeah. I'll go 34. Leeds Toronto.
It all depends
Must
on me.
win. Well, it must win for Toronto. They could still get through.
But I think Toronto would like to see that on Friday night. To be honest, we saw again, as I mentioned earlier in the show, it's all about what sort of attitude the Leeds players will turn up with. So, and I think Toronto, they'll be getting ripped in. They'll find out in the first set of 6, maybe second set of 6, what attitude is going to be. You know what? I'm going Toronto by 7.
Wow.
And you're going to hear a Bradford lad say this. I'll go Leeds by 6.
Right, Rich.
I wonder if Brian McDermott will be there. Draw.
I wonder if he'll be at the watch tonight, Matt Dermott. Do you think he'll be there tonight?
I saw him in the week in town.
Yeah,
Well,
so.
Toronto for me. Catalans against the Giants.
Yeah, well, it's just a game of touch and pass, isn't it? I'll go Catalans by 16.
Catalans 4.
Rich.
The Dragons.
Yeah. Season ended, didn't it, for the Giants? London Halifax.
Yeah, Halifax, they'll just be planning for the Monday club there. London, they know exactly what they've got to do. I think it'll be nice points fest for London. I'm going to go London by 36.
Yeah.
London, not as big, 16.
London.
Yeah, London for me.
Well done.
And last one, Hull KR against Widnes, who potentially
£250,000
could lose £250,000 if they win. Hull KR by how many?
I've said Widnes are rubbish. Hull Kiss Rovers by 42.
What? What?
What do you think more?
No, I don't think it'll be that easy.
Okay, let's go.
You didn't think that easy? You've been predicting Widnes for the last 3 months.
Well, I think the league table never lies still.
Why do I want
We're all on Hull KR.
I want to say Widnes for some reason, but I don't know.
You are what?
I don't know.
I'm taking a 4. That's
Get that T-checked. Get that T-checked.
All right then. We'll. I think we'll be all. So we're all going Hull KR then.
Yeah.
Right, that's it. We're done and dusted. A bit of housekeeping. Thanks to everyone that's taken the time to listen, watch, join in on Facebook, YouTube, however. Don't forget podcast available. Please download it, subscribe it, share it with your friends, give it a retweet when you see it tomorrow. We've had record figures last 3 weeks. Want that to keep going, keep up in the charts. Thanks to Garrett as ever for his time. Hopefully Leeds secure their status on Friday. Yeah, right. Thanks to Leon, who's been a great guest. Good luck at the weekend as well to Workington. Hopefully theirs goes. And thanks to Rich as ever. Thanks to you for listening. We're going to have that moment now. It's like Police Squad at the end where we all have to sit here holding our paws while Richard turns the button off. So don't say anything daft. We'll see you next week.